We heard all sorts of other cool songs, and that's the one
weird.
that sticks in my head. Oh, that one and Cotton Eye Joe.
Oh God.
That's
Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from? Cotton Eye Joe.
Kill myself.
Yeah. Much rather have. Well, I don't know about much rather. I don't know what kind of '90s hits you were listening to. Like
It was
'90s.
YouTube channel
It's like
on
this is
when
the
I was
music they
driving, and it was
used to
like
torture
90s.
Saddam Hussein when they caught him. '90s hits.
Yes, it was
Torture
like a
hits.
YouTube channel. It said like '90s greatest hits. I was like, all right, whatever, and I put it on by Lawrence, and so
Damn.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
Bye,
yeah,
Felicia.
and like all this crazy
Oh,
stuff.
backhand you. Get out of here.
What are you doing, child?
This music's a little too always going aggressive. I need to find something else.
You mean you don't want to be always going and aggressive?
It fits.
Oh, the ceiling's filling up now.
Alright, so you
Dad,
got your setup.
What, Ava?
the ceiling's filling up now.
Okay. Yeah, I've got water leaking into my ceiling and all sorts of shit going on in the background, so I'll be here. I might have to just, back off now and again.
That's fine.
Water leaking does not sound.
Yeah, we had like a tornado go through that blew down a bunch of trees and took our fence apart and must have blown open the roof a little bit. And
We had a tornado that took my house away.
no, that would be
Well,
nice.
Still standing around him, so
Green screen.
there you go.
Green screen confirmed.
Yeah.
Take a hurricane any day.
Alright, well, if you're ready. We rejoin our group, continuing their journeys in Terrafex City. Yeah. Welcome to 5e, the shopping and tavern crawl simulator.
So much fun.
We'll continue our visit to the many taverns and shops of the area.
That's at the game.
Look, I gotta pick up some tools, right?
But amongst the more notable events of the not quite a week yet, you've been in town. Just you've acquired ownership of an inn, formerly at least known as the Nine Pines, and in the process of getting it set back up and reopened. A couple other parties that were interested in purchasing it. You've engaged in some other business, both a local thieves guild who's trying to stave off a rival gang on which the inn is on the border of the territory that is disputed, and working with them, as well as a local businessman and owner of a number of establishments, including an inn that you visited, and that's Harrison Blacksteed. Asked you to retrieve the remains of Kelcall, a halfling adventurer that was part of his party from many years ago, that was lost in some catacombs, that he told you where they were. You offered to do this as a gesture of good faith with him, to earn some goodwill with him, which he seemed to really appreciate and didn't mind too much. After which, when Zig proceeded to get extremely drunk in his establishment. You also visited the Blue Willow Inn, which is in the Lantern Grove district, a place of interesting nightlife and all kinds of characters. So you met a number of individuals in there, but you were specifically looking to try to find Ramona's sister Reba, who was not there, but following a lead from back at the stocking in the Fairwind Isles, you followed a man out of there and got more information from him.
Much to the annoyance of Eldak and Eben.
I don't think they were annoyed that you got information from him. I don't know.
You didn't see Andrew glaring at me.
He revealed quite a bit of information, worried that you and your meddling and interest would spoil his plans, whatever they are. That he has arranged for Reba to marry a local nobleman, and not wanting those plans disrupted, has tried to give you enough to ensure your silence. Their wedding is planned for a week, during which there will be a display on some local tournament grounds outside the city as part of this the wedding, or the wedding celebration. And Zig, you vaguely remember as you wake up in the morning possibly agreeing to fight in a tournament. They wanted you to beat up an old man or something like that. And I think that's where we pick up.
I'm looking forward to it.
Morning.
I wake up much later.
I'm always up early.
I usually do.
I'm up early.
Okay.
But I'm staying in my room until I need to leave. Or until someone tries to get me. Yeah.
All right. As
I'm
you guys are
downstairs looking at the map again. I'm still
okay.
trying to get it down.
So, studying the map, you're up before everyone else. There is a bit of activity going on downstairs. Some of the crew from the ship is here, and the place has been pretty much cleaned up pretty good. Some smaller items they've been stockpiling. They're making plans for the day to spend some more of the money that they made from the sale of some of the exotic pelts to further furnish. There's breakfast cooking and food available and everything here.
Is Sharkbait on?
Yeah, he's here. He's up a little later than the rest. He stumbles down a little later. Sitting off to the side to not get drug into any of this, what closely resembles work going on by the rest of the crew.
I asked, hey Sharkbait, come here for a bit.
Oh yeah, what's up?
Hi, people.
You've been to Terrafax before, and I sort of lay the map out. Is there any places here that I should sort of take notice
Am I
of?
communicating with peoples? Yes.
Good or
There's
bad?
the peoples.
That you either see up there or maybe you can check out?
Well, I'm not real familiar with the city, but in terms of steering clear, he kind of points to the western edge, sort of north of where the ship is moored. Now these districts over
Nobody
here
was paying attention to you anyway.
are quite a bit more rough and tumble and dangerous.
Is that where you guys ran into the stilettos or different?
No, that's just a few blocks from here.
Okay.
No, but these areas it's really the low end of the city. Let's put it this way, you wouldn't want to stay at an inn there. It's for people with very little coin, the poor slums of the city. And a number of the city sewers end up, I believe, running out there into the main river, and it's...
Did you guys see that link I put up?
I did.
Okay.
The wharfs, as the wharf district as well is kind of a bit more. Well, you can watch both at the same time.
Yeah, multi-twitch is a jam.
I forgot
Are the
about
people's
that.
gone, Dad?
What?
Are the
People
people's
don't do it
gone?
very often.
What?
Are the people's gone?
No, they're still right here.
Oh.
Got more wasabi, please.
Hey, Ava.
Good the Mountain Dew, that's it. I read your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But the Wharf District as well is fairly full of sailors and lower rent areas and taverns.
Blah.
I thank you.
So
Oh, a big chunk just fell off. And another one fell off.
as the rest of you eventually awake.
Get them.
Yep,
I'll come downstairs.
I'm ready to kill an old man.
Ooh, session 50. Well, I think they said the wedding was about a week's time.
There's a week
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, I come down yawning. So they said that
Do
let's
you
see, we've got kill a bunch of crap in the sewer.
You have your camera flipped, Hans?
Have what?
Your camera flipped on your Discord or your
Yes, it is. Yes, his camera
Okay.
is flipped.
What?
Yeah, so you're facing the opposite way on your stream than you are on mine. So I was just wondering if you must have just did a transform,
Yeah, the
a vertical.
last week or whatever. I walked past. I was
I
like,
think
wait,
you
I'm walking
do.
in the wrong direction.
I think you do.
No, it's yours,
No.
Hans, because I was watching yours the day. I was like, wait a minute, I'm going the wrong way. in the room. But
It doesn't matter. It the way you have it set up, it looks like you're facing everyone else, so it actually works well. But
yeah, we're good.
Now you got me.
I always have to point out something to slow everything to a crawl.
No, mine is set normally. I know because those posters right there over my left shoulder.
If
Yeah, you're pointing to your right though.
Not on mine.
the if I walked through, you would see that it's backwards on yours.
It's not a big deal. It's just
It looks-
flip.
It looks so funny on the.
I know, but I'm telling
multi-twitch.
you, you're saying I'm pointing to my right, but I am aware of like what my left and right shoulders are.
There, now it matches. I flipped it horizontal. It matches.
Actually, everybody's looks backwards on yours. No, not everybody's.
Mine matches Discord exact.
But see, they can't tell, so they.
Bryce is getting upset. He's saying, "Get on with it."
All right, I know. Come on.
If Hans would stop messing up his OBS, we wouldn't have to have these pauses.
It's... So.
I'm back.
No real names. Sorry, I forgot.
No real names. All right, so. You've all awoken. Come downstairs, get some breakfast. Zig is looking much more chipper this morning. Eldak looks a little haggard. Doesn't look like he slept very well, but you don't remember him drinking that much, actually.
Nope.
I got myself a nice long rest. It's like 11 o'clock when I come wandering down.
Jeez.
Jeez, you bum.
Which is
We've left.
which is like way late, unless somebody's gonna wake me up way earlier.
Right.
Okay, so what are we doing? Are we going to go into a sewer?
I'm sleeping. It's
On
fine.
the alcohol yesterday?
No.
The whiskey?
Negative. That is not
Hmm.
the case.
You want a hammer across the forehead? That help you sleep? So are we going to the sewer? Or are we going to the wedding thing?
The wedding's
Well,
at
we
the
have
end
to
of the
wait.
week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wedding's another week.
Then
So
to the
say
sewer.
I think we have
deal
to
with the sewer first.
meet with them so that they can tell us where to.
They pointed it
Where
out
exactly
to
we
you
need to
last
go.
night, didn't they?
No, they pointed out where to meet them. They didn't say where we should enter.
Hmm.
So they pointed out where we
Yeah,
should
because
go.
it wasn't a definite
talk to
answer
them.
that we'd help them, so we have to go to them to tell them that we're going to help, and then we'll find more information.
Well,
Let's-
I mean,
let's
it's
go.
either that or we go outside of town and do Harrison.
We have 2 weeks for that.
To do.
I think
Yeah.
we have more than that now that we're not being paid for it. I feel like the time
Yes,
frame is.
this is true. Because we're not being paid, we don't have any sort of time limit on it. We'll do it if we feel like it.
But I don't know how far out or how long that could take. So
Pretty sure the body isn't going
figure-
anywhere.
I figure
so the
potentially
body's up.
dealing with the stilettos and whatever's in the sewers will take less than a week's time. And
Yeah.
at least
Also, we're in
we're
town and
technically in the city.
We probably do need to deal with the stilettos anyway. We don't need them bothering us.
Yeah, but I also don't know how we're gonna get rid of an entire thieves guild.
Yeah, we can start with the sewers and figure
Extermination.
Yeah.
Really
So
In
start
the
off quick.
city. City of
guess
Terror
we
Effects.
go find Trixie and her dear friend.
I'm fine with that.
Which one is that?
Okay. And they had given you a location on the eastern
On the
edge.
map I had, yeah.
Yeah, it's in the eastern edge of the levee
Cliven.
board.
Yeah, Cliven. That was not the name I wanted to give him.
So you,
Good old Clitty. Clivey. Nah.
Yes.
Clyde.
Clitty.
You're right.
You. God dang it. So you gather up your stuff, your things, and head down the road to the east, and then up along the wall of the city, weaving in and out of the people in the streets. There's a little less traffic along the road by the wall, and you travel up a ways. It's not quite all the way to where the sodality was, but sort of up in that same direction. And there are a number of larger stores and buildings, and then a small set of like residential sort of rundown looking row houses, sort of dark and cramped between the other larger buildings. And it looks like one of these is where they had told you could find them.
Alright, I walk up and I rap on the door.
Yeah, I'm sort of just keeping an eye out around here, see if anybody's maybe taking interest in us.
Okay, you can make a perception check.
I knock on the door and I yell, "Are there any thieves in there?"
Seriously, Zig.
Why we can't have nice things?
Pretty much.
19.
You don't notice anybody on the street that stands out, or it's hard to get a read on everyone, but nobody's is obviously following you or appears to be watching you, sorting through the different people that take notice of the imposing form of Zig in his adamantine plate armor with a skull-looking helmet, but they seem to be just the normal Goks. Zig raps on the door and shouts out. There is a moment of silence, and then some shuffling of feet inside, and then a rattling of a latch or a bar on the other side of the door. being opened up, and from outside of the door, a smell wafts out of like baking and pastries, and you're in sort of the back door of whatever this is, and there is a kitchen area, and there's like a woman with a apron and like a white sort of bonnet at the door, and what do you need? What are you accusing me of? And like you can see there's just pies being baked in like a large oven in there, and appears to be a
You don't look very nimble. I doubt you can take many purses off of people.
I think
Where's-
you got the wrong door, ma'am.
I have the wrong door. Be quiet. Where's Trix and Cliven?
She kind of cranes her head out and like looks around. Get inside here, and sort of motions her arms for you all to come inside.
Right. Let us in, Mama Thief.
And once you're all inside, she closes the door and like puts a large wooden bar back on it. Yeah. And then she kind of goes to the side door, down toward. Looks like there's a small hallway with a stairway going down to like a cellar, and she shouts down there.
Does the vacuum ever get run upstairs?
There's people up here to see you.
No. Man, is
Get
it
them out of my
flashing
kitchen.
over there?
Yeah.
She goes back to opening a hot oven and
Yeah, so I said you can come in, but it's messed up.
So,
getting some
Cliven lives in the basement of his mom's house. That makes sense.
Look, you gotta start somewhere, man.
Another face comes to the top of the stairs and looks out. It was the other. There was another. Remember, there was another member there in the alley where you and Sharkbait were there. This is that other guy that was there, and he's like, "Down here." Kind of holds the door open for you.
Is that the sewer, or does it just smell like it?
Not yet. One of our
Smells
safe
good,
areas.
smells nice
so-
around.
Yeah, it does smell good. Fresh berries from the countryside and that pastry smell.
Yeah, but
Taken
down
off the counter.
there, it smells like some
She slaps your kind of at your hand as you like.
30-year-old man that's been wallowing in his own despair. So it's a little stank down there. That's all I'm saying.
What? Are you coming?
I head down.
Okay.
I go down as well.
All right. It's like a narrow stairway, wooden, kind of dark, ramshackle stairway that goes down into like a cellar area. And there's a number of barrels and flour sacks and stuff down there that's probably used in the baking that they're selling. These, some local store or something. And he goes over to one side, and along the wood wall, runs his hand down one board until he finds like a secret thing and pulls open a concealed door. And behind there is another staircase going down.
Is it all still dark? Are there torches or like sconces or anything?
Yeah, there's like a torch in a sconce, like right on the other side, just a little bit down behind the concealed door.
Uh-oh. We lost somebody.
Andrew.
It's gonna throw everything off.
Okay, no problem.
What are you doing? You trying to throw stuff off? Trying to ruin the stream?
No, shit was
Never,
bugging on my end. I fixed it.
So you enter through that door and down the next stairs. As he comes in behind you and latches the concealed door behind him and takes the torch off the wall and carries it behind you. As you follow these sort of rickety stairs down, suddenly you're not really like in like a. You kind of expected maybe a sub-cellar or some other subterranean room or. But actually, what you find yourself in is an area that opens up kind of large, and there are. It looks to be some sort of subsection of the city, maybe from a previous time that was built over. And there are sort of ancient, decrepit houses in a small, almost like effectively a cavern. It's not like a natural cavern per se. It looks like somehow whatever this area down below the actual city wall was built over. Maybe it almost looks like the way the ground is slanted as you step down onto earthen and rocky floor. It was maybe a hillside originally when the wall, and then they've since built over the top to like level the city out in some ancient time. And so now there's like this subsection, but this area is only about like 3 old buildings and houses that are all decrepit, but you can see some light coming from inside some of them. And the man behind you, Skeller, says, most people don't know about these places. There's a few of them scattered around about the city. We use this, one of the assets of the levee ward. There's a number of these run along this wall. Keep this as a safe area. You'll never see guards or anybody else come down here. And then he kind of moves a little bit faster than you to the, kind of just stepping around you to the front of the building there, and opens the door. And inside, there's a table, some chairs. I mean, it's not real like luxurious, but as a concealed hideout, it's not bad. Tables, some chairs, some shelves, some things, and sitting around the table are a couple people you don't recognize that sort of be looking to wear the same sort of blue cloaks, as well as Trix and Clive and all right then, Cliven says and kind of stands up. Didn't know if you'd be coming by or not.
Where's the sewer?
All right to business. There's a passageway that connects to it from here. It's why we use this area. Linton, take...
Oh, that's your breath. That's not this. I thought we were standing over a sewer because I could smell something coming from your face. It's just your breath. Never mind. Yeah, so what do we have to kill? I mean, it seems to me you could just go probably breathe on it down there and it would die, but crawl away in horror. But, other than that...
He's kind of giving you a look like, just sort of like, kind of like,
Alright, get on with it?
Well, a little bit, but not sure exactly what he's thinking. Kind of irritated possibly a little bit, but...
Oh, lighten up, Clive.
You get used to him eventually.
Yeah, I look at Clive, I'm like, this is how he lets you know he likes you.
Don't get used to it.
Trust me.
What does he do if he doesn't like you? Wait a minute, I think I saw them in
takes
the alley.
off your head. He
Yeah.
usually carry a belt of heads.
It's a bag that fits on my belt. It's not a belt of heads. It's just... I have a bag that's designated for the heads of my enemies.
Have you, see, you need to do shopping. You need a new bag. That bag, I don't even know if it's still functional. It's like...
I thought he left it
He
with
still has it.
nasty.
He still has it on his belt, but it's just still got
It's
just got a hole in it.
It's in tatters, and it's kind of,
Is it the same one?
stained, and... Yeah, it's not usable right now, but I'm not getting rid of it.
Smells.
Yeah?
There's a bad smell around it. It's probably originating from this darkly stained burlap sack that's torn and ripped and...
It's my favorite piece of clothing.
Well, we don't know what's down there. We've been exploring those as another means to get around the city, and we know there's a path. We know of a way to get all the way through without going into the underwater areas, all the way to the edge on the other side of Pelican Street. But we haven't fully explored it. The last man we sent down there, he never came back.
Well, maybe he just defected to the stilettos.
It is possible. I believe they're also trying to make use of the sewers as well.
I mean, they've got a cool name, like the stilettos.
Just gonna stay on the table.
What do you guys have? You're
It's a
just
weak weapon.
you're just Cliven and Tricks.
So you're looking
The
for
Brady Bunch.
Bloodhound. The Bloodhound Gang.
There you go.
No, I'm just messing with you. The stilettos.
go. Partner was up there. Yeah,
The stilettos have people like Eldak in their gang, so they
vacuum up there.
can't take them too seriously.
Well, I know there's a large gated area that can be gone through. Unfortunately, our man that we lost had the only key.
Come on.
That won't be a problem.
All right. Lyndon, you want to show them where it is? And one of the other men from the room gets up to head for the door you came in.
We have to go back to the door that we came in. Okay.
Well, you're in this like house in the underground part of the city. Yeah, it's like not in the house. So because there's like an area, sort of almost like a cavern in this underground portion of the city. So
Gotcha.
he leads you out there, and away from some of the buildings, and there is it looks like a small tunneled out area where people have dug. And it looks like just sort of a little bit of a winding tunnel that kind of turns and goes down into the dirt. He says, down there, breaks into the sewer itself. I'll show you that far. There's something terrible down there, though. I'd have those weapons ready.
Always.
Put the one in the armored suit in front, and he kind of looks you up and down.
Well, I could just
Ask him if he has an idea of what it is, if he's seen whatever.
drag you down there and
A glimpse of it.
use you as a shield.
Something in the water.
Oh fuck! There's God.
Reptilian?
Hey, Zig is used to big crocodiles.
I don't know. I haven't been down there.
Any rumors?
Cage goes into the water.
Well, just from Jones.
Sharks in the water.
I've been exploring it.
Our
Said
shark.
There's something large moving in the waters. Fouls, and all sorts of fetid and foul orders, and I'd see a cleric when you're done to make sure there's no disease upon you. But okay, he grabs he has like a torch he's grabbed, and he kind of has to hunch down, and Zig, you have to kind of really sort of hunch down. You do what?
I cast light.
Okay. All right then. Puts the torch back on the wall and kind of leads you down just a short winding area that then sort of breaks into like a long, narrow sewer-like tube made of stone and like a circular running along. It's pretty small. Zig almost has to be on his hands and knees. The rest of you are hunched down really low as well. He says, right up there, there's a ladder down. And you can see this tunnel, the small tunnel runs either way, like north and south. But then, like there's like a chute going down, and you can see like some iron rungs of the ladder. 20 feet or so ahead. There's a thin rivulet of water sort of in here. It doesn't smell fresh, but it's not like necessarily
Shit water.
Straight sewer.
But waste runoff. This seems to be some sort of main just runoff. One of the upper pipes, the city runoff. But trash from the streets and Well, people do throw their buckets out the window, so you know. Hey, medieval times, man.
Sophisticated.
Should invent the magic toilet. Become a millionaire.
Dude.
Just
Okay.
teleports it
Not
to
gonna
the.
go more
It's like
things?
I have one of those. I have a chest that I can just shit in, and it just disappears. I go ahead and climb down the ladder.
It's there when you open it up again, man.
And it's
Only if I think about it really hard.
Get the hand back and console up. You can pick up the big piece and the vacuum.
I can send Sharkbait to just push it out of the chest on the other side. Yeah, just I go down the ladder.
yeah, same.
Okay.
Ditto.
All right, you crawl sort of through the nasty water and over to there.
By the way, I'm wearing my old reds for this.
Okay.
Over to where?
They're crawling in all my nice new clothing.
Just give me a sec here. Try to set up all my stuff.
Where's the new map? DM. Let's go. Come on, DM bias.
I'm checking to make sure I have all the stuff on there.
It's the fucking best.
I'm digging this music that's playing on my channel right now. Some Chrono Trigger remix.
Okay.
It is all black.
Darkness, everyone.
Yeah, I know.
Darkness.
Okay, just checking.
Twisted darkness.
I need to get your little icons out because I didn't set them up. Because I didn't know where you're going.
That's alright, neither did we.
It's gonna be this.
No, I knew this is what we were doing.
It's this, the wedding,
I never know.
the catacombs,
Yeah. This, the wedding, the catacombs.
and then whatever else in between that happens to come.
So, can you see the map?
The immediate plan. Yeah.
Shot.
At the bottom of the ladder is a damp room. There's a circular sewer tunnel heading out to the west. Fetid water drips all along the walls, pooling down into puddles that are all across the floor. There's a healthy growth of really nasty-ish green slime coating the walls and floors. That kind of makes for a little bit slippery footing. You just a little bit of a foot slip, and make sure to take note of that, Zig, as you step off the ladder.
Yummy. It's a healthy floor down here, guys.
Good luck.
Another piece
And
came
you
down.
hear him shout from the
Landed
top
right
of the
in
ladder.
bucket.
Bye-bye, Wimp. Alright, let's go kill this thing.
Okay. You head off down the hallway there, the circular sort of tunnel that's going out.
But it's the only way to go, right?
Watch behind us.
Yeah, that you saw. Oh, that's not it. So the rounded tunnel descends west into darkness. You still have your light spell going. You cast it on your little crystal. When you cast your light, you cast it on an
Yes.
object to bring with you. Okay.
Yes, it's on my crystal, around my neck.
The pooled water from the walls drips slowly to the base where a thick base of muck and slime has settled. Where you're at walking now, you're tromping through this muck. You kind of detect a slight slope going down towards the far side, as there is a very, just ever so slight flow to the water. Zig just immediately begins tromping down there, boots, sloshing and plopping through the muck.
Ew.
And as Zig reaches there, a huge section of the ceiling just seems to give way and fall upon them. And
Not good.
you guys are like moving so fast. You didn't let me read the description. You guys
I am like 10 feet out of the main doorway.
I'm still in the main.
Yeah.
I got to attack something like 2 weeks ago, so
Someone's a little antsy.
Okay. So as he steps out to there, the whole ceiling, at first you think the whole ceiling's caving in, but then you realize that from the ceiling is shooting down a thick, nasty spray of wet fog and mist. 15-foot cone. I think it's just Zig then.
Oh,
good. These things.
Your favorite.
Acid. Giant slime.
I don't know why it has a tag. So actually, just you need to make a DC 14 Dexterity saving throw. As this wet slime
Nope.
mist, as it hits you, you can feel it first like splosh, and then it's like, and it's all extremely acidic.
It's a very expensive
burning in
armor,
the-
you piece of shit.
Not it. I'm fumbling. I don't remember how to play Dungeons and Dragons.
It's
Oh, that's a lot.
You take 17 points of acid damage. It just seeps through the cracks right between the joints of the armor, burning you and searing you underneath. Ugh. You grit your teeth as it happens. That's basically a surprise round. So roll for initiative.
Holy shit. Starting off quick.
I'm gonna wait until the thing is up because I don't see the.
Yeah, I don't. It's working. Yeah, it's minimized or whatever. I don't know why this guy trash bags on there. Oh, hold on now. I got all kind. Oh God. Apparently, it still had the old ones on there.
Odd.
I rolled a natural 20. I'm not re-rolling my initiative.
It's still on there, huh?
Yeah, I see all of them.
That was nice.
Oh my god, really?
It's the dex roll, dex, what's your dex?
Bitch.
What's your dex,
He's got a
Zig?
+2 and he's got
Two.
a 22. He's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, so then
You
he
beat
would
me
go
by
first.
1!
One.
So, you seeing it come down, you look up and you see hanging from the ceiling is this giant blob, and you can see portions of it moving like pseudopods that are familiar, having faced oozes and slimes in the past. Below the Morantz area, you can tell that this thing is a living hunk of slime of some kind. But you are the first. I guess Eben is the first to react.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Okay.
You have a higher dex.
Yeah, I just forgot that a natural 20 doesn't matter on initiative. That's why I was like, oh wait, I actually do go first. I was expecting Zig or the thing to go. I immediately. So it basically just fell from the ceiling.
It's actually still hanging above him, but portions of it are reaching
So then,
out.
how
large pseudopods.
tall is this then? This sort of.
The ceiling's
little hole?
probably only 10 foot high.
Okay.
So he was sort of ducking under this slime, because there's slime and muck all over the whole thing.
Okay.
But this, yeah.
I'm just gonna soon as I see it, I just take 2 quick shots with my longbow because
Okay.
remembering what happens to a weapon when I stay using the longbow for this particular instance.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, I remember this will fuck up my shit. 13. I don't think that hit.
That is a hit.
Oh, is it? Okay. Oh.
It's a large blob of slime hanging from the ceiling. It's not real difficult to hit. Not exactly dodging.
Second shot.
Han's looking at general chat.
Oh, natural 20.
In the general chat.
Yeah.
The general chat. Oh, I can't do that. I have to stay on the call.
It won't change it.
It lets you stay in the call when you flip back and forth.
Well, it moves it changes all the cameras and it just broke it on the stream.
Gotcha.
That's
So
weird.
I take 2 regular shots. Yeah,
Okay.
18 points of damage.
All right.
Ooh, that second one
2
was a
arrows
natural 20.
like completely pierce and drive, and disappear into the slime.
Yeah, I remember us dealing with that. I just sort of I hold my spot, but I like shift so that if people need to get through, they can. Since this is sort of a tight corridor.
Okay. Zig.
Piece of shit. Eight points of damage.
Okay. 8 points of damage. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
You miss with that one.
Back to combat we go.
You just flail your using your jaguar's maw. The little jaguar growl echoes in the tunnel. Smack it, just like chunks of slime splatter against the wall and stick to the head of it, and then you reel around and try to hit it again, and just sort of, can't seem to find its center of mass. There's lots of slime on the ceiling that don't appear to be part of the creature. It's just sort of camouflaging itself in it. Okay. Then it's its turn.
Yay, more acid. Just one large, hunk of slime hangs down and just swings like in a pendulum-like motion, aiming for your upper body. What's your armor class? 18.
So you take 9 bludgeoning damage, and it leaves a searing, burning through the armor again.
Say 21. Just say 21.
Well, it's 24.
Oh, why does it say 21 then? Weird.
I could see
The
it.
hit.
The attack was the 21 to hit. It's 9 bludgeoning.
Oh, I
15
gotcha.
acid damage.
Alright, 24.
Damn, ouch.
And then it releases itself from the ceiling and falls completely over you. What happens is,
old familiar feeling.
as you're sort of swinging and holding your action there, it sort of falls over you, like half on either side of you, right? Like it's like directly above you. And as it falls and you're sort of swinging and, trying to defend, and just the force of it coming over the top of your body, it like splits the slime completely in half. And now each half has a pseudopod sort of emanating from it.
Oh.
Okay. Seems legit.
Eldak.
Can I get through?
Cover your mouth. Yeah.
It's a pretty small.
Well, I have a
it's
full
gonna
plate
cost you some
helm
extra movement to
on,
push by
so
people.
my mouth should
I
be
shifted.
covered.
I use my movement to shift, if that helps any.
I've been in the middle of
I said it.
gelatinous
Okay.
acidic cubes before,
Okay.
so this is nothing
Since I
new.
knew that people would probably have to get
Can I
past.
get here though? I just want to get to the front.
Yep, you can. Yeah, you can get up to there.
Okay. I'm gonna stab at this one.
All right.
Do I have advantage because he's engaged with Zig?
Yeah.
Or- Okay.
That's a good hit.
$27 points of damage.
As the half of the blob splits out behind Zig, you dash forward, coming out around Eben, who's pressed back up against the wall, letting you by. Bring the rapier down and just slice it, splitting it wide open, piercing it, and it almost like a balloon full of
Goop.
thick goop or whatever. Pierces just sort of bubbles out slime of like a lighter color as it's completely pierced, and that section is now a lifeless pile of goo.
Good.
Anything else that you would like to do?
I'll take a knee so that Eben can shoot over my shoulder. That's it.
Tebow right in the slime.
Be careful of your pants. The slime will melt. You'll look like you have acid wash jeans. I don't know if you want that.
Oh god, I don't want that. That's horrible. That's horrible.
Fan art
Wish that
incoming.
on my worst enemy. Yeah, I should watch Jeans.
Melusine?
Alright, I'm going to slip my drum around right hand side, pound off a little healing word at 3rd level for Zig. Because I'm not getting close enough to it. But he looks like
No, there's not really a space to move up there, exactly.
Oh,
How
that
do
was a
you
joyous
fail?
9 points!
That's rough.
I like how he considered that a
Feel
fail.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Red.
Like, yo.
I
You
made
heal
what?
poorly.
Nine
just so
points
you know.
back.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Whenever Melisson heals me, it's always like least possible amount that she.
No!
It's weird. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's me in combat. Me in combat means everything hits me and nothing helps me. That's
And then for my
DM bias.
and
Way
then
to
I'm
die.
going to
Rigs it.
shift the tune and cast a Manticore Strike at the one that's on the
Okay.
other side for 5 points.
Okay. Dark spikes of energy flail down from the ceiling, hitting it on the top and piercing several places with hissing goo sort of emanating out. All right. Eben,
I mean, if I had 2 quick shots, great.
there is
To shoot
a
past.
lot of traffic there.
Hopefully
T-bowed.
I aim correctly.
Okay.
I can't really do anything. 18.
That's still a hit.
Five. Is this thing still considered hurt because it's split, or
Yes.
is that different? Okay.
Nope, it's damaged. Plus, it just got hit by the shadow.
Okay, you right. You got it.
Okay.
Second shot. 17.
Yep.
What is going on in there?
17 total points.
Right. 2 arrows sink into it, sending bits, bubbling out of it where the arrows pierce it. It's still not. It's still not dead. It's still moving with a pseudopod flailing around the top, but it looks there's that lighter slime leaking out in about numerous puncture wounds.
It's cool. Get them out now against the slime and not against the potential reptilian.
The slime covering your whole grip, Jaguar's Maw, just slips from your hands, clattering to the floor as you try to strike it. You want to try to recover it?
I don't know. Do I get to attack again if I recover it?
Yes. But you'll use your movement or your bonus action
I'm not going anywhere anyway.
to just reach your hand right down into the slime and part of its body, and like rip it up and then swing again.
There we go.
It's better. That's better.
The huge blow right across it. It just explodes like Gallagher smashing a melon. Or Gallagher smashing a bag of goo.
There's an old rotten melon.
And there's this light, hiss of like, this is the fades out and dies. And then there's silence, just the dripping, the sewer water.
How many temporary hit points is that?
Oh, you get a giant slime. You get 5 plus your roll.
Wow. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Ouch.
How bad are you currently?
I'm at 35 of 67.
Alright, so after this, I move up and I'm gonna cure wounds in my second level. God damn it. Fucking thing, let me. Fucking hate it. So it gets overly complicated the longer I am on this goddamn site.
Need a computer.
11. Extra points of wounds.
Alright. You get 11 points back.
Okay.
You've made it out of the first room.
I
Right.
wouldn't even. That's not even the first room. That's the beginning hallway.
Yeah, we haven't even made it to a room yet. Of course, it is a sewer, so it could just be a series of hallways, I suppose. Yeah, I still don't like only having 46 health. If this is what we're dealing with, I need more.
I need more power.
Alright. You need another heal? Sorry, children are like...
You know, I do have a potion of greater healing I could use, but that's more useful in combat, I would think. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Or just before combat, like if it's
Yeah.
new.
are we still in need of a lot?
I'm 21 points down yet.
Alright, so we will cast second level cure wounds. For 9.
Alright, I'll take what I can get.
Don't you get a bonus for...
I thought I did, but
Let me look at something
when
real quick.
Roll20 switched over, maybe it's not giving my bonuses. That's why I looked at the other one and thought it was weird. Hold on.
It's not called Cure Light Wounds anymore. Cure Wounds. Used to be called Cure Light Wounds. trying to find it
Plus
here.
your spellcasting ability modifier. Yeah, it's not taking that into
Oh, it's just 1d8. The additional, it's the higher level isn't 1d8 plus the modifier, so
Right, but it's still
you only got the
mod.
well, you got the modifier on the other die.
No, it didn't give me
3
the
plus
modifier
4.
on the other die.
I can see it right here.
Oh,
3
there
plus
it is,
4.
okay. The bottom one is the
Right.
original. Okay.
The higher level cast is just another 1d8. That's correct.
Okay.
Alright,
So yeah, sorry.
that's fine.
Spells are sucking
I put Jaguar's Maw away and I get out Blazing Gar and I just start like poking at the ceiling every step that I take.
Okay.
Smart man.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'm just gonna look, like, perception-wise, try to keep an eye out.
Yeah.
While
You can
he's
both
just,
make a
like,
perception.
yapping. Oh my god. Fuck you, this thing. It's just the worst. It's like, oh, you want to click this thing? How about this other thing? 19 for me, 21 for Bolt.
Okay. You slowly make your way down the corridor, prodding up above and looking for any signs of movement, and scanning carefully, but you don't detect anything more except the normal buildup of slime.
Yeah.
As you make your way down there.
Yeah, for me, I'm basically looking for anything that even slightly potentially resembles the, the slimes we just faced. Just to keeping an eye out on something like that.
Oh, we got water.
Well, we said we have to find a gate that we need to go through, so.
So as you
Away.
move down into this area, the hallway opens up into a huge spillway. I'll open up a little more here in a sec. A narrow walkway runs the length of the room, about 5 or 6 feet above murky water below. 3 huge cisterns with stone ringed around the edges sit on the west end, just nearly full with foul water themselves. A passageway to the west you can see a ways off on the walkway. To the west, and there's on the eastern side drainage pipes flow out and then down into culverts. It looks like another sewer tunnel leads out of the walkway on the south side as well. How far does light extend? It's
20.
Is it like a torch?
And 20? I think it's 20 and 20. Hold on. 20 bright.
Technically, you wouldn't have been able to see all that stuff I just told you about, but whatever.
20 light, 20 dim. Well, they can see further than I can with their dark vision. But yeah, 20 bright, 20 dim for me.
Okay. We're just gonna open up what I described anyway. But beyond that immediate range, things are fairly dim and hard for you to see.
This looks like it sucks.
Big place.
Just a little bit.
So you kind of peer over into this murky water. These are the large stone cisterns that sort of have a ring kind of above the water, 5 or 6 feet down from the railing of this.
Lay down.
Not the railing, it's just like a ledge of this walkway. And it raises up a bit higher and then is also filled with water, so the water level raises a bit more. It looks like, those may fill and then, like, when it overfills, those overflow it down into there.
Is there anything moving in the water?
You can make another perception roll.
Oh, I was on an 18.
18!
Jerk game.
You do, even with that, notice a little bit of motion. There's something in the water moving around. Somewhere, a little bit of splashing somewhere. Looks like on the far side of your vision, somewhere like behind the cistern. off in the edge of the darkness. You hear a little bit of splashing and see a little bit of motion in the edge of your vision.
We do have movement in the water. Eben.
See what it is? Can you see from? Do you see it? Or
No. Just splashing. Let's step back this way a little bit. Is there anything like in the area that I can, like a rock or pebble or something that I can pick up and throw?
Not really, actually.
Okay.
I point in the direction that I see it. I tell him it.
What's some of those ball bearings?
Well, Eldak's completely down around the corner in the hallway, so I point over in this direction and say,
did it seem like a lot of movement?
no. Just a singular splashing. Maybe something is moving around the edge of the cistern or jumped in the water over there. I don't know.
Are we freely moving for now, Hans?
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting to hear.
Okay.
Yeah, what
I'm
you're doing. You're
gonna-
sort of standing on the edge of this ledge.
I'm gonna skirt this way.
Okay.
To try to sort of get a better angle to potentially see what.
Okay.
we may-
Yeah. Move a little bit closer down there. I make a. Yeah, we had a perception roll before. You just did, didn't you?
I did
So
a 19 in the hallway.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you make another one as you move a little bit further down the way there?
Well,
Okay. As you move a little bit further forward and kind of see, you can kind of see behind that my map. I didn't take time to line my map up very well, as you can see. You see a little bit of splashing there, and then it looks like, and then it sort of there's like a V in the water, and you see a large rat, maybe half to the length of your forearm, perhaps like a big rat. Swimming in the water, sort of swimming out.
it's just a rat.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna point him out. I'm gonna kind of keep an eye on it as it swims to see if something maybe takes interest in it, for as far as I can see.
Yeah, at this point you don't see anything like that. It just keeps moving east off into the darkness, sort of away from you and the light.
Well, I'm gonna see if there's anything here, and I take my hammer and I sort of splash the water right here with it. Just smack it like 4 or 5 times with the hammer. Also getting the slime crap off of the hammer.
While I'm doing that, I'm sort of looking at the water.
Okay.
Just in case.
The splashing immediately stirs up a little more splashing of rats.
Oh, hello.
That's a lot.
And you can see movement. There's a tussle of rats moving about in the water as that stirs them up. You're locking on them, and then they're sort of splashing in there, and one kind of comes over to where the hammer is to sort of investigate the splashing as they're swimming around to see what's going on. And as you observe, then suddenly they begin swimming away from where you were, forming like a large, V in the water of all these
flying V
large rat shapes. Well, I mean, you know what I mean, like
watch out.
Like
Attack position Delta.
well, you know what I mean, like in the water, like waves streaming out, and then they all seem to be beelining away Oh, yeah, they are almost like in a formation. They're all sort of swimming together, swimming away.
They're transformer
Wow.
rats.
Well, that's not weird at all. I see nothing wrong with this.
On alert, you see something large or something moving, and you hear some motion of the water from this large cistern as they scamper away from it.
Waiting for a knuckle puck to come flying as it comes out from behind the flying V.
Oh, okay. That's
Mighty
a
Ducks.
Mighty Ducks reference.
Mighty Ducks 2.
Yeah.
He's introduced to the knuckle puck.
There's a motion of swirling water, and suddenly the surface of the water is broken right sort of at the edge of the cistern, and a long, slender,
Slender Man.
reptilian head
You called it.
pokes out. Large spines behind its head. It's got a huge mouth, long tongue, huge maw of teeth. The head's probably, several feet across, and 2 or 3 feet long, and it's only got a long, slender neck, like scanning around for the rats, and then sort of turns and looks up at the 4 of you standing there.
Shoot that thing.
Roll for initiative.
Shoot her!
Shoot it.
Another natural
Dude, just
20
use it
on
all the
initiative.
natural
Again,
20.
big.
Damn.
That means it'll just be a 1 when I go to attack it.
Fantastic initiative. This is great.
Alright, that second GIF was definitely freaky.
Yeah.
Video or whatever it was.
Yeah, that giant ass fucking creature from the prehistoric era. Yeah.
Oh, the alligator in the sewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the ball, right in front of it. Like, You want the ball? We all float down here.
That's yours now. That's yours. It's cool.
We all float down here.
Zig, you are the first to act. Immediately, suspicious already, and trying to stir something up out of there. You weren't, caught off guard really at all. And there's this head poking out of the water, like right over here.
I'll catch it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Crossbow shot.
Throw a net at it.
Throw a net at it. The head like serpentines to the side of the net, splashes into the water. It actually looks quite nimble. You expected it, to sort of be a little slower, but it was surprisingly quick.
Okay.
Technically, you still have an attack.
Yeah, I do. I hope it doesn't dodge that. Or else we're all screwed.
It does. It's like, oh shit.
That would be
Well,
scary.
shitty makes shit town.
10 points of damage.
Yep.
10 points of number damage.
Number damage? What?
Number damage.
Not garbage night, is it?
Yeah, it's just a 10. There's no piercing.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
I do 10 to it.
Melusine.
Perfect 10.
Awesome. My leg would stop wanting
Yeah,
to lock
I'm
in
going to
place
shoot it
when I'm trying to move.
Okay.
I'm not 11. No, I'm a 10.
17 hit.
A 17 is a hit.
Seems like you were on that threshold.
Yeah.
Because of water refraction and that all that jazz.
Well, its head is fully out of the water, like the head is sticking up on this long neck, like
It's over
up above
here,
the
right?
surface of the water, 3 or 4 feet. Yeah. Huh?
Am I? It's over like here, right? Am I within?
It's right here.
Okay. I'm.
So you're
Can I
not
get
in
past
striking
Eldak to
distance.
step back into the hallway?
Oh, yeah, Ava.
Can I get past Eldak to step back here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You take a shot. Several crossbow bolts slightly pierce the thick reptilian hide of the neck, and then Melusine quickly, while reload, pulling this drawstring back on our crossbow again, ducks into the hallway out of the way. As that happens,
Larynx.
the rest of the creature emerges.
Oh god. Great.
The other foreheads. The other foreheads come up.
That's actually exactly.
It's a little late.
Ah!
It's a little late. We've attacked it. I can't talk to things that have basically been attacked.
Yeah,
And it would need to be a
4
beast.
more heads and a thick body break the surface, all roaring out, and then
Great.
look around.
And this is why I went back to the hallway.
I can't. Can't attack both though. Does that have a reach? Let me see. Hold on.
Logan.
Look, if you get it on the thing, then it's close enough to hit both stuff. Just gotta leave the water.
Yeah. It actually moves up. Huge reptilian forearms, grasping up, and one of the heads slamming on the thing and sort of leveraging it, and it starts, pulls itself halfway up onto this walkway. And there's now 5 heads, and they all lash out at those at the hallway entry, chasing the
Fuck.
fleeing Melusine there.
Yeah, I didn't attack it yet.
Can use his fight attacks as ahead, so it's going to attack Eldak with 2 heads, and 3 are attack biting at Zig in just a flurry of attacks.
Yeah.
I hate Madison. I hate you.
Chompy chomp chomp chomp.
Don't worry, I'm standing right behind you. I can put my hands on you.
Miss.
Fuck you!
That's a hit.
Oh, that's a bad thing.
Kenny Duck.
Alright, uncanny dodge, take 4 points of piercing damage. This is just teeth just sort of graze against you. Doesn't really make solid contact.
Yep. Waiting for the 10. No. Okay.
There it is.
2 heads latch onto our plate armor just blocks most of it, but the crushing of the between the jaws.
I'm hitting the one
does
that
some damage.
missed.
Okay. With a riposte. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's never good.
Repousse.
Oh, yeah, good. Whenever bot riposts, it's always an 8, right? And then he misses.
21 damage back at it.
That's good. Solid hit.
Yeah. 21 damage. Okay. You hear a sickening crack as you can hear its, skull being heavily impacted by the hammer's blow against it. Several of the reptilian teeth on the side cracked and broken. Okay, it's alright. I'll do a little math in my head. Okay. Do you have another attack? Oh no, that was just riposte.
I was
Okay.
riposting, yeah.
And that's its turn. I get always confused when Zig's killing things on their turn.
True. Can I tell from where I'm at if I move, can it hit me? Or do I not know?
Doesn't look like it can from there.
Okay.
The necks don't seem long enough.
But it's not all out of the water yet, so, you know, the tail can reach you.
I'm just gonna. Oh, what the? Move my character. It was like, you want to edit your token? I'm like, I've never even seen this screen before. I don't even know how I got here. I shift just a little bit. I'm gonna hunter's mark it.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna take 2 shots. The first shot's gonna be a normal arrow, and the second shot I'm gonna use one of the broadheads, the one that causes bleeding. How that goes.
Okay, so don't slam it. It's a bag of rocks.
13 to hit.
13 just kind of skitters off its thick
Well, hopefully the
scaled
second shot
hide.
with the broadhead will actually hit.
Did I say how much bleeding damage it did? Did
I
forget?
think I have it in my thing. 17 for the second shot.
That one managed to slice and pierce in
Hang on.
through the scales on the neck of one of the heads.
I'll do that because I think you also said it's like 2 less damage, but then it causes the bleed.
Yeah, I think it was.
Brother, go into my thing. It's the broadhead arrows. I have it there. It's just easier for you to look at it.
I can look too. I just remember if I wrote it down.
Where is it written?
D6. It's a D6 for like bleed of the next turn. Okay. Okay.
Hang on. I also
you have Hunter's Mark
do,
damage though.
Yeah, Hunter's Mark and Colossal since it is hurt. Awesome.
Okay.
Always coming through. So.
Yeah, the arrow gashes across its neck, leaving a wide wound in the scales, and see blood beginning to pour out. All right. That's all for you.
Yep, that's the end of my turn.
Eldak.
Fuck. How many heads are in front of me?
There's like 2 like jammed down the hallway, snapping and biting
great.
you. There's more writhing around at the entrance, snapping at Zig.
Just gonna attack one of them. Do I get advantage because it's next to Zig, or no because of heads?
No. It's engaged with you. It's got sort of multi
What about
presence, right, of mind.
Or mine.
17.
17 is a hit.
11 points of damage.
Okay. Kind of stab it and it just pierces it slightly. How 2 heads let back a roar and are still writhing in front of you there. Anything else for you?
That's all I could do.
Okay.
You don't have 2 attacks?
No.
You don't have 2 attacks? God, it's been forever since we've attacked him.
No, rogues don't. Well, yeah, usually you might use your offhand or something. Yes.
I don't use
You
it.
can use offhand, but you don't. That's you don't. Rogues don't get multiple attacks.
They're usually just all about the I hit you once and the sneak attack.
Time to get 2 levels in fighter,
I'm in the middle of
or a couple levels in fighter, or whatever it is.
2 levels.
5.
I know it's probably not going to do anything, but try to do like a trip attack on it, or a push attack on one of the heads. It's a large creature. I know it's not going to do anything. It's really just for the additional damage.
Can you do it up to a large creature?
Yes, I believe.
It's actually considered large. It's a huge creature.
Oh, okay. It just says you add superiority damage or die to the attack's damage roll, and if the target is large or smaller, it must make a strength saving throw. So it just doesn't make the saving throw, it just adds the damage.
Alright.
I'll miss anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yes, you will. You just jinxed yourself.
No, I just know how this game works.
Oh, 1 and then 20.
It's the spectrum.
Hold on, I
Dude,
gotta
you have
roll.
a shit ton of 20s and 1s.
How are we gonna do?
The
I have to.
Roll something else in between.
It's
I have to
pretty
re-roll one of those. Alright. And then an additional one for my thing.
An additional one for the brutal.
So it's actually.
it is-
What does the 3 add? 5 plus, so it'd be 7.
yeah.
Would be.
Technically, you don't. Yeah, it's. I wonder if that's how roll 20 does it. All right, we'll just leave it go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works. So I'll let you figure it
It
out.
should be the +1 at the end of all that, actually, but so it would actually be 9 plus 1 plus 2 is just 15, 16.
I like how I hit it for more without critting.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, at 9, 15. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, you miss wildly and then right yourself amazingly and just smack one square in the forehead with a thickening
Alright.
crunch.
And now action surge.
Logan, if you put the laundry
Okay.
away, Parker can put the... What?
God fucking damn it.
What is going on? What?
Right, the next one's a crit, and then it will fix itself. Okay.
Hey, now, your brother's already gone.
It's 15 hit.
15 is barely a hit.
Would you like to put him?
10 damage. Waste of action surge because I rolled another fucking 1. That's the
Well, it's
4th
not
one
as bad as you
tonight.
think. You're swinging wildly, your head's banging about you, and you manage to connect 2 blows. First, cracking it right and square in the forehead, and then hauling back, being knocked off balance by another head and missing, and then bringing it back again with the second smack to its head. It's like caves that part of the skull, and that head sort of goes limp, smacking the walkway in front of you, and is not moving.
Oh, wait, I did this wrong. I got hit for 18 the first time, right? So that takes my temporary hit points down to 0 and adds
Yeah.
8 back to this, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Corrected. I don't suppose killing a head counts for the.
No.
Do I get
Sorry.
individual?
It's worth a check.
It'd be individual.
Be nice.
That would be good.
Alright, Melison's turn.
I am going to shoot one of the 2 heads.
Hey, Star Student paper, you see, yeah, Moscow Belly. I just...
That was just in,
15.
stop.
That is a hit. Well, actually,
Okay, I need
that's a
paper.
miss because it's got partial cover because you're firing down the narrow tunnel around Eldak.
Should be.
So, unfortunately, that's enough to make it a miss.
Boo. Okay.
Old ones.
Can I see Zig at the edge of the tunnel from where I am?
I don't know. He's behind a D8 on my screen.
No,
I'll
you
say
can't.
no. I mean, not really. He's around the corner. You see his hammer swinging occasionally, and you see that he's crushed one of the heads. But he's sort of standing around that corner.
Alright, I'm going to pull my drum out and cast a bardic inspiration on Eldak, who is right in front of me, and I can totally.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you probably cannot see me at all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't.
Cool, I don't think I've ever gotten one of these before.
Oh.
She meant to give you
You
them,
can
but
do
she said my name.
Anything with it. He doesn't usually.
I give Evan the
Damn it.
shot. It's like, oh yeah.
True.
Well, Well, you're always hiding in the back, so you're always behind her, so she never knows where you're at to give you one.
Right here where you left
He's
we
right
go.
there.
That's a good
He's
point.
facing several
He's
heads
right in
there.
front of
I'm
me.
next to you all the time, stabbing shit.
Yeah, but you're usually hidden until you're stabbing shit, so I get the bardic inspiration.
I guess.
It's usually Zig usually gets him out there smacking the crap out of it.
Come on,
Did
she
I
doesn't.
mention that
Well,
it's
Zig,
my
yeah,
dice
Zig's because
for
I think it works.
anything?
Yeah, it synergizes well with his because then he can.
And she can't tell the difference between you two, so it's hard to catch. Oh, god damn it!
Who's that too?
Eldak is getting the two heads attacking him.
You-
What is your armor class?
Uncanny dodge on the first one. They both hit.
All right. So for the first one, this is going to be ugly.
Oh Jesus Christ!
It's 25
Your
piercing half because of uncanny
inspiration.
dodge. You slip away and it just one head grabs you by the shoulder and kind of tears, his teeth ripping across you, as it sort of got you pinned there for a second. So that's 12 points of damage.
Your
Okay.
bardic inspiration can add
As
to
you're
your
pinned there for the second, the other head uses the opportunity to
add to your
latch
attack.
onto your other shoulder.
Yeah, you can make that second attack miss with the bardic inspiration because it
10
can add to
10
armor
more
class.
points, so a total of 22
done.
damage.
Okay.
Just gonna let your cat eat paper upstairs.
Is it
So it's sort of
22?
so you've got two heads biting at your shoulders and sort of tearing him in opposite directions in front of you, Melusine. Zig, 2 bites from 2 remaining
All
heads.
right. You saw that, right, Dave?
What is with the dice tonight?
Crit, everybody, crit. Let's go. Everybody.
I went from
Wait.
34 health to 12.
Zig,
Okay.
19 is a hit on him, I believe.
Yep.
Zig takes
Doesn't
31
it not
points of
crit?
piercing damage as the two heads just
Doesn't it
crunching.
not crit because of the armor?
Oh,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Good.
you are correct. I'm re-rolling one of these. Good call. The adamantine
Doesn't
armor.
hurt because of what?
Yeah, one head
The armor
grabs
stops
him
the
around
crit.
one leg, biting and biting for 6 points,
Nice.
while the other one comes down above, like, trying to use it as opportunities. He's trying to get rid of it, and right on his head and shoulder, and you could see like through the eye slits, just like what would have been a possibly even a fatal blow. Just the armor just right to the unfortunately scraping the teeth on the faceplate of the helmet, but it protects you from that crit. So it's a total of 17 points on both attacks. Hey, investment already came off.
Yeah. Well, I knew I would need it.
Its turn.
Jesus. That's not me, is it? I was gonna say that's. No, we're cleaning up plaster off the floor at my house right now from the leaks in the ceiling. So
I need one of those.
the vacuum is on, so I muted my mic.
Eben?
I was gonna say, if I use my bonus action, can I coat one of my arrows with the poison, the rage poison?
Sorry, it's attentive. Vacuuming.
Sure. Yeah.
Alright.
Not done.
The
Alright,
purple, the
Yeah, for one of my arrows.
the
Anyway.
Plastamake
Yeah,
Brutalist
I'm-
made from the.
Is that?
yeah, I'm basically hoping that maybe it will
I don't.
Attacking
the head attack itself, or potentially.
I don't know that we really want to enrage this thing. Yeah, of course you are. You aren't in range of it.
Look, I'm willing to take a gamble with your life. Look, you can disengage.
All of a sudden, Eldak just goes running down the hallway. See ya.
I got it, guys.
I'm about to go buy a pie from this nice lady upstairs.
Alright, so that's my first shot.
Yeah, the whole carpet's
The
closed.
special shot. And then this is just my regular shot.
Buckets out and dump them. Ava, you can help your brother
that's a
there.
good one.
Ooh.
Too bad it's not a crit, but whatever. And then Hunter's Mark. Alright, oh man. Total 9,
29.
I just
29 points of damage. And I don't remember what the like save thing is.
walk out the front door and
You knew that more than I do.
Okay.
needs to dump the trash out of them, just the water.
I don't know. I made
It didn't. It didn't make it with a 10 though. I would guess.
Let's see.
I don't
It's
know.
usually things are usually like a base of 13 as like a whole.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
No, I didn't.
17, 26, 29.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tried to keep
29.
Two arrows sink deep into its back as it's now halfway
Why?
pulled up onto
Why?
the thing, heads
Ava,
stretching to like the heads reach into the
Hold the door open.
tunnel or whatever.
open it for him when he walks in and out of it.
Two arrows
Hold it
thud deep
open
into its back, and it
focus.
one head actually pulls off of Eldak and turns around and like stares right at Eben to see what it's attacking from behind.
up?
It looks just like it's like completely enraged and like snapping in your direction.
Alright.
All right then. Any movement?
No, I'm gonna stay around.
You good? Okay.
Yeah. It comes at me. It comes at me.
Giant
The
rats are
rats have
long gone.
left. They
Yeah,
are-
giant rats are long gone. They
Yeah.
swam off down into the culverts on the far end.
they're like,
And the rest of the
Eldak.
bar. I'm stabbing this motherfucker.
Okay. The one head pulls out of the tunnel, seemingly enraged about something.
I am so mad at you right now.
But you're still faced with one biting into your shoulder.
Inspiration.
What the fuck am I rolling?
D8,
A
right?
D8 plus 1. So
Hey!
That's a hit.
Pew! Hey! 12.
All right.
I'm fucking disengaging. I'm just moving back. Boop.
See you.
and
As you like jump around Mellison and take off.
Oh, shut up.
See ya.
no, I catch his wrist as he goes by, and I cast the cure wound on him. at
What was the?
third level?
You can't do that yet. You gotta wait for your turn.
That's true.
Oh, I have to wait on you. Fine. I'll grab his wrist before he runs too far away. Though.
No, I'm stopping there. I'm not moving
They
farther
sound
away.
like
Okay.
But yeah, 12 piercing.
Top of the order then.
I'll put the order to you.
You right? You right? It's like the scene from Scream. I'm fucking dying, man.
Alright.
9 and 14.
23 damage.
Right. So. Take
Thugunk.
those.
Thugunk.
Two huge swings. You hit one of the heads. It's still there, knocking it out, swinging over the railing out sort of towards the water, where then you kind of step up onto the other head with one leg and bring the hammer in again as it swings back, meeting it halfway in a sickening thud, and another head goes limp. There's now 3 heads, one snapping at Eldak down the tunnel. We can't quite reach him, at least where it is now. One still attacking you, Zig, and then one sort of flailing behind, at least was looking at Eben. And that's, is that your turn then, Zig?
Yep. Well, do it Did we decide if it was a?
Socks are already sold, huh?
No, I can't do the cure wounds thing from my hammer, right? That takes a turn.
That's an action from
Yeah.
the thing.
Okay. Yep. I'm done.
Your fighter one is a bonus action, I believe. That's what you're looking for.
No. I was gonna. I guess they're outside of the 5-foot range anyway. So no, I'm good. I've got 28 hit points. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm feeling woozy
I'm
here.
just trying to remember, so I'm just looking real quick.
Yeah.
Second wind. Bonus action, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
second wind's the one I
Never
can
mind,
use.
just so I gotta know all these by heart. Alright, Melusine. Casts a cure wounds on Eldak.
Yes, 3rd level. Because he looks like he's about to fall over. 14 points.
Hey, that's like more than half my health.
Get back in there!
And I can
26.
bonus action a healing word as well. Yes. It's been so long. Yeah.
Bard healer.
Yep.
All right, that just means if we can't remember what our own abilities are in between fights, we've gone way too long without fighting something.
Yeah. 7 more points, Eldak.
So a total of 21 healing. And she grabs you by the elbow as you swing back into there. And, reassuring notes from the drum and the warmth of the healing. You're like, Ben, I'm all better.
33 health now of 38.
Woo! I'm done.
All right. It scrambles up like as far as it can on the thing, just pushing like up as close as it can. One head just snaking down the hallway, just intent on trying to get Eldak, sitting there snapping and biting, like ready if you move forward. The other head is snapping at Zig on him.
20? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, crit.
No, you want it to be a 20. That way he has to reroll.
Nope. Misses you, clanking off the armor. Oh. Yellow dice now. I like that color, actually.
Yeah.
14 damage to it.
14 damage. Okay.
Whack.
The other head is enraged and trying to stretch out, like, trying to pull the body back the other way. Obviously, it can't, but it's like snapping towards Eben. And it's Eben's turn.
I'm gonna use my entire action to put my bow away
Stop it!
and take out the shield and sword, and then I'm gonna.
Okay. Okay. You ready the small buckler on your arm, pull the shield out, and charge in there. The head. The head's actually essentially holding its turn, so it's gonna snap at you.
All right.
See this, Jess? You might have already seen this picture, but
Sort of
crown.
teeth grinding, leaving huge gashes against the buckler.
Open in the water, just pouring in.
All right. That's your turn. That's its turn. Eldak.
I'm taking out both of my
What was that?
hand crossbows and shooting.
Indiana Jones. It's like, and then it's like sitting there waiting, and you just like.
Yeah, that one doesn't have a modifier. Fuck yeah.
Nice.
And there's left damage.
Nice.
Device. started, yeah.
to like the small.
I haven't used these things in forever.
Yeah, I know.
That ends the round. Zig.
Always keep those things in the back.
Keep thumping at it.
Thump up the jam. Thump it up.
Well, he started it when
You're
he started.
trying to get them. There we go. 2 good hits.
Yes.
21.
21.
All right. Quick thought. What if this isn't the monster that they were talking about?
Real talk, I was gonna be like, does this look
What did we say?
young? Does
I'm
this look like a
sorry.
baby?
21. Can't do math. All right. The last head in front of you just pushed forward.
Math
Its
is
head
hard.
is now like it's kind of like just writhing on the ground and then flops off the side, hanging down into the water.
So we're
Does
down
that
to
end your turn?
2 heads
2
now.
heads only.
There's
Yeah.
2 letters.
Hercules. Hercules.
One time Zig's obsession might actually help us. It's like, I'm gonna cut these heads off. Fuck this thing. We're gonna burn it with fire.
Oh, these heads are coming back with me.
Melusine.
Crossbow.
Need to get a duffel bag. I don't know.
Nope.
As a crossbow bolt goes shinking off my shoulder as I'm standing there.
All right.
The hell?
The head. Go ahead. You have something else?
Oh, after that, I'll cast my Bardic Inspiration on Elrax again.
Okay.
Yeah, that won't stay on.
The head pulls back out of the hallway and whips around, and both of them attempt to bite Eben. The one just tugging it, the other way. Now seemingly as one head has a little more influence. Miss.
Miss.
So Eben's standing with a small buckler, just like fending it off, and like with his sword, both heads wildly biting at him, froth coming from their mouths in a frenzy, and that's all it does. Eben.
All right, I'm gonna take 2 slashes with my short sword. Let's go.
You're up in height?
Let's go, let's go.
Yep. 19.
It's a hit.
Light.
Oh yeah, I picked it because I can use it
Still
in
honors
water.
mark too.
Fairy weapon.
I could use 2 of those. Too bad they do like less damage than my rapier.
Yeah.
Oh, not if you add Hunter's Mark and Colossus Slayer, though.
I don't know.
I don't get that. Well, you get
more than one
sneak
attack,
though,
though,
which-
right? Yeah.
Which I
Yeah.
haven't been able to use because of
That's-
multiple heads. Bullshit. Dumb penta-headed bastard. Pretty good, pretty good.
27.
We haven't even gotten to the gate that he talked about.
So shrugging him off
This
with
is
your
100% not
your
the
buckler and sword, you pull out the short sword and just in a flash, it almost looks like he missed, but then you see just a huge gaping wound open up on the neck on one of them, followed by a jab right into it in the head. Just a spout of blood coming out over him.
Does it bleed every
With
turn
only
from
one
your
head
broadhead?
left, it sort of like lulls back, and the whole creature now seems to go limp and fall back into the water. The huge splash, sort of sinking down into the cistern.
No!
Not like this.
Dive to grab it.
Yeah.
Drive the gar through its neck to try to stop it from going down.
Really?
Yeah, I want this. I want a head.
Make an athletics check.
God damn it.
All right, you
Not terrible.
pull out the guard, like
Depends on, I
pierce
guess, how
the back
heavy
of
it
one
is.
of the limp heads on the thing. Zig is pulled over the ledge.
Oh no.
This is a
It's a
huge
giant.
creature.
It's a giant
Huge.
creature. Yeah.
Like, I was hoping we maybe had
And
more
Zig,
time.
now, I assume you're gonna let go, or
Underwater,
below
the
the water.
water.
Okay. All right. Zig disappears below the water, the murky, fetid sewer water.
Need a head.
Kneel down, put my hand over the water. I say a small prayer to Hakana, and I'm like, let's go. It's over. We've lost Zig. Everyone, sorry.
Okay, so you are pulling your way down as it's sinking down into the water, trying to chop the head off.
I'm chopping at a head. Yep.
Okay, you're totally submerged and sinking in your plate mail.
I realize this.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm gauging how far down I'm going.
Okay. Go ahead and make a. I don't know what to make. Make another athletics check for trying to chop the head off while I refresh my memory of swimming rules and holding your breath. I believe it's
something with his
equal number of.
constitution,
Yeah.
and then swimming is half his movement because we don't have an actual swimming speed.
Yeah. I think I could hold my breath for like 3 minutes or something like that.
Because you have a high constitution.
Yeah, decent bit of time.
It's 1 minute. I remember what it's 1 minute plus another
con, I think.
plus for your constitution.
Yeah,
so
plus your con.
I can
Yeah.
look it up.
So 3 minutes.
all right, hacking away under the water, dark in basically in darkness, submerged in the plate mail. You manage to chop the rest of this head free.
All right. Now, very slowly swim my way back up to the top.
Yeah. Long, tense moments as it just like bubbles and bubbles, and and then it just sort of goes still, and then it's like a reptilian head breaks the surface of the water, rushing out, and then you see it zig, follows by it with it in his arm.
Got it.
Scared at both, I attack both.
Take my head at Zig.
No, I will say when I originally the Hydras in older D&D, when you cut off their head, like 2 heads would appear.
Uh-huh.
I know.
That's what inspired me to find it, because I was like, oh, how can I counter Zig? Chop its head off. No.
The ultimate betrayal.
Well, I think after it's dead, you can chop its head off.
Yeah. All right, so you scramble back up.
I help him out.
Scramble back up.
All right, now we
Lovely
can
severed.
ask him if this was the monster.
Somehow I don't think this is the monster. We haven't even gotten to the door he was talking.
He was just mentioning the door as a place to,
As
like,
a landmark.
well, it was as sort of landmark the passages below the city, I believe. I don't know. Anyway, I got to get this to a taxidermist so we can mount it at the Hydra's Head bar.
Thought it was the mimic's mouth. No
Something
mimics.
like that. Look, it's to be determined. We haven't really.
Or we could do what was that thing that we killed on the deck of the ship? The big, was it a wyvern or was it a manticore?
Manticore.
Don't we have like the tail or a claw or something from that?
We still have like parts of the tail and I think scales or something from it.
Some of the tail was used in my drum.
I know I took a trophy from it.
We have this is we just take all of the trophies and start putting them inside of the.
Pretty much. Yes.
It's like here's a giant alligator head, mouth,
Alright, well,
claw and
let's
stuff.
keep moving along. Let's see what else? Looks like there's a bunch of, I doubt this is the only monster that's killing things in here.
Maybe, but I'm taking a short rest.
That's probably a good idea.
Okay.
I will play my flute for our short rest, and we get
You take a short
song
rest
of
right here.
Yeah.
in the hallway.
Well, by hallway you mean sewer tunnel.
The
that's
sewer
draining
tunnel,
and, like,
yeah.
muck in like the rounded bottom
Well,
area.
they were building the wood out there. It was.
Still
But
better than,
I don't think it was a
It's probably a little better out on the walkway at least. But
Yeah, I'm going to the corner here. And, yeah.
you can take it wherever you like. You're welcome to. I was just more picking at you because it's muck.
The muck doesn't bother me.
I'm gonna, while they're resting, I'm gonna like do a sweep of this area.
Oh, what a wonderful hit
I
die.
want to look this way.
Since you weren't bloodied at all.
Hey, he couldn't hit me. I don't know what
Master of
everybody's complaining
defense.
about.
I am playing Song of Rest, and God help me, it's been so long since I've taken a short rest, I have to look up the benefits.
Song of Rest, you get an
I think
extra
they get- yeah, I was gonna say they add
1d8.
extra
I am
something.
full
Yeah.
health.
You get an extra what?
I got a D8 plus 0.
Hey, that's
What do you
fit for you, so.
Yeah.
What do you get for the Song of Rest?
If only I got that
I'll let you
one
look it
leveling
up.
up.
I'll let you look it up, but I believe it's extra 1d8 or 1d6. I'm thinking it's 1d8. It's the same
On
inspiration die.
Every hit die?
Not for each hit die you use, but for whatever.
No, just one.
Also,
But
a note that
whatever.
when you rest, not that we do this all the time because we don't often do all the short rest type stuff, but you only get back half of your maximum hit die every full rest. So
I don't
it's
ever
sort of
use
a
it.
reducing number.
Yeah.
Like if you take 3 short rests to continue and use all your hit
Yeah,
dice, it'll take several days to get them all back.
Yeah, you don't get your hit
So
dice
you,
back for a full rest, right?
move
It is
down.
1d6. I don't get 1d8 till
1d6 with what? When do I get 1d6?
Gotcha.
Just
you get 1d6 extra hit points back.
for each hit die or just for...
Zig.
Is that a one time or is that per hit dice used?
It's per short rest. So one.
Okay, but it's still just one. Okay.
Okay.
Good to know.
As you get to there, you see a huge iron portcullis barring the way to a room
Does
with
it
a
look
huge
like a-
cistern in the next room.
Does it look like it has a lock of or some sort of locking
Yes.
mechanism? I'm gonna
the-
sort of
So, what
yell
was
back
this
that I
super-
believe this is the
what did-
gate he
what
may be
made the
talking
water
about.
go- did it bust a line?
The portcullis is a seal with what appears to be magical reinforced lock, and you're sort of guessing.
Wait
that
for my
because
final hit die
there's
for
really
that,
no
you piece of
decay on the
shit
lock,
game.
No rust.
It looks basically like in
It's
ordinary pristine.
Piece of
Yeah,
shit
it-
game waits to
for
roll a
being down
10
here,
until my
that
final
makes-
hit die.
Makes you think there's something arcane involved. And the bars themselves are still extremely sturdy but rust covered, and just the lock is not. Beyond, you can see the edge of a large cistern. The hallway sort of in there is the sort of like in this room, but it looks broken on one side. That's about as far as you can see.
Yeah. I was gonna say while they're resting, I yell back that it looks like this is magic. Something doesn't want us in here. This is not just a regular lock. This lock looks like it has some sort of magical properties.
Can you look around and see if you see the guy that died?
From where
Maybe he
I
has-
can, I don't see a body.
Um,
Right, Hans? I don't see anything.
No.
you realize that Hydra probably just ate him and drug him down into the water, right?
Hey, you never know. There could be a body easily to be inside the body.
You want to scout anywhere else? They're still
Oh yeah.
short
Like
resting.
I said, I figured since a rest is an hour, I was gonna scout this entire thing.
Yeah.
Basically, any entrance into this room, I want to sort of get eyes on and see what I could see while people are healing up. So yeah, I
There
moved
is a
down to
hallway that
the bottom.
twists down around, branches off.
Can I tell what these are from here, or would I need to get closer?
Yeah, so the walkway up here goes like above. The walkway here like goes above, but underneath, at the water level, they run through, and like you can see the water level go over, and then looks like it's draining into like a large culvert or something that goes straight down. There's sort of like large drain out of this room.
Okay. So for
So
now, I'm just
expect
gonna
that
hold
you'd have to get
position
down in the
here.
water if you wanted to
Yeah.
check that out anymore.
No. All good. I'm just gonna sort of post up here since I see that this
Okay.
is a hallway, just in case, and keep an ear out just in case I hear anyone. Since I figured the other way, if it's gonna be open, it's a lot more potentially a lot more noticeable than if
Okay.
someone is sneaking around this way. So I'm just gonna kind of keep an eye on this general hallway.
Okay. You guys bind your wounds, get a quick drink of some clean water, and get yourself cleaned up a little bit. Recover, use your hit dice. And what do you guys want to do next?
Why did this look magical?
Yeah.
Because it
That's
was
the cleanest thing ever.
inordinately clean.
Yeah,
The
inspecting
lock?
the rusty, sturdy
Pristine.
bars. There's like a lock on it that looks pristine and undecayed.
Okay, well, what about like the hinges on the side?
They're bolt kind of. Well, they're sort of like a whole. It's a whole like. There's not like hinges on the whole thing. There's like a doorway that kind of can open in the center.
But it's got to be bolted to the wall somehow, right?
Oh, yeah. What do you mean? What about them?
Well, do they look rusted and
Yeah, but they're
old?
still very thick.
Okay, I'm gonna hit the gate as hard as I can.
Okay. You can give me a strength check. Clang! Huge ringing rings out, kind of echoing down the hallways. Some of the metal flakes chip and break off, revealing still sturdy metal underneath. Doesn't really budge.
That should bring the rest of the stuff out to play.
Or anyone past there, certainly.
Dinner bell.
Basically heard a loud ringing.
I'm gonna keep an eye out behind us, just in
Okay.
case.
Okay, well, that ain't moving.
Oh no.
I don't know, do Mel or Eldek want to just take a look at the lock and see if...
I can take a look at it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do anything.
Oh man.
Mel has...
I'm gonna ask
Right?
Melisson if she...
I'm
gonna ask Melisson to cast light on my hammer, if she can, and I'm gonna jump into the water and search the water.
Sure. I switch my spell off my orb and onto your hammer.
Okay.
I'll be in darkness, so I'm put my back against the wall.
Okay. Jumping down into the water. This area up here outside the cisterns is only a few feet deep, like 3 feet probably. So it's like, upper thigh,
Okay.
upper, hip deep for you.
I sort of
Been into shit water.
throw the hammer down into the water so it lights up underneath the water and start walking
It's just
around.
dark water. There's a layer of muck on the bottom as you're stepping through who knows what.
Poop. I'm stepping through poop.
It could be.
Feekies.
Okay, so you start searching with trying to use the light in the murky water.
Yeah, I'm looking
Okay,
for a
you're
skeleton or...
investigating Okay.
I just wanted to look at it. Yeah.
There's a sturdy lock in good, nearly pristine shape there, set into the doorway. It seems to be it seems to be a fairly difficult lock. Estimating, taking a look at it to pick, but don't see why not.
I'll try it once.
Okay.
Your mom.
Nope.
Some of your thieves' tools sort of jam and break, but you still have additional picks.
I'm sure.
You are grid searching through the water there.
Yep.
I let them know that there's a passage this way, but I don't know where it leads to.
Well, man, Locke doesn't want me to open it. I just show Eben the pieces.
I feel you.
I've got to buy more lockpicks.
I jump into one of the cisterns just to try to gauge how deep they are.
Shitty water.
I've already been in it. It's fine.
That one is deep. I mean, you're gonna just jump in to judge how deep it is?
Well, throw the hammer down in it and look. Throw my head underwater at least.
Okay. Well, it's hard to see the depth because the water is so murky and dark. The other one was probably about at least 30 or 40 feet deep where the Hydra is.
Okay.
Came to rest down there 30 or 40 feet as you were hamping.
Alright, I get out of the water.
Yeah, that could take eons searching through there.
I tell Mellison she can have her light back.
Woo. I cast my light back on.
Okay.
Or
Small globe you carry on your
me again.
neck lights up.
When suddenly the Hydra is behind you.
Okay. Check this out down here.
Check this out.
Looking at the ceiling,
I'm just following Zig and where he's moving there.
making sure there are no slimes on the ceiling.
Do you want me to take point?
No, I'll be alright.
Yeah, another one. It's around every corner. Literally.
Okay. You can see it straightens out ahead of you and goes down. It looks like it ends at some other portcullis or gateway down there. And then there's an offshoot to your right.
Is this one all covered in gunk as well, like the...
It's yeah. There's less. It's dirty for sure, but no, not nearly the thick slime. It doesn't look like as much water runs through whatever this passageway or this pipe or whatever here is. As you look down the side one, it looks even more dry. In fact, that's more of a flat, like instead of the tunnel shape that you're in.
More of a passage or whatever than
a
pipe.
And you can see that it opens up into a room or something down there.
That's fresh dirt to be digging in.
Is this just a dead end?
There's a portcullis. There's a gate there.
Okay.
You can see a portcullis down there. You haven't gone down far enough down there.
Take a peek around the corner here.
Okay. Alrighty.
I'm keeping basically like my ears up for like if I hear any talking or anything like that.
I'm watching behind us.
We're told that stilettos
making sure that
area.
people aren't following us if someone happens to come down. Not that they would from this way, but just for the future.
The passageway opens up into like a rectangular room. It's a little bit more damp in the room itself. And along the far wall are 3 slime-covered chests.
Mimics.
Not a trap. Totally just good.
Hey guys, there's 3 chests here. My guess is at least one of them's a mimic. I'm gonna go put my mouth on them and check.
Seems like the right decision.
Seems like the total thing to it.
For what you've been covered in so far, that doesn't even sound disgusting at this point.
They'll clean you up real good. I have my bow at the ready. Here we go again.
Mint jelly.
The gurgling mimic.
No, they all taste like boogers.
Alright.
I take out Blazing Gar and I poke this chest from here.
I've got a 10-foot reach, so you have to get a little closer than that.
Yeah, you gotta get into explosion radius. Come on.
Not.
Like,
Well, how big are these
Well,
grids?
you've got a 10-foot reach with the Gar. That's more than 10 feet. That's all I'm saying. You can reach across to like. Well, maybe not. Am I wrong?
I'm saying it. According to your grid, it's not more than 10 feet.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. You poke at it with just the very end of the Gar. Kind of shifts a little bit. It's it looks to be a wooden chest with some slime layer of undisturbed slime over the top of it. Not like the thick, not like the slime you fought in the hallway, but like
just
mildew or older slime. Yeah.
This
Make
is
a
just like
perception
Dark
check as
Souls.
well.
There's been a room in Dark Souls where it was 3 chests, and the one at the end was the mimic because it didn't have a chain connected to it.
There's some
That was-
mimics in Dark Souls.
Yeah, and they instant kill you. You try to open it, if you don't hit it before you open it, it stands up and then eats you.
That'd be good to have.
Yeah.
And it's like 20 feet tall and has like super skinny like legs and arms. I'm gonna find it.
It's super cool.
What you notice is that it actually shifts a little bit. Somehow you'd expect the chest to be a little heavier.
Great.
Poke at it.
Okay,
The whole
that
thing just slides a little bit on the stone.
one's sketchy. It's very light.
What type of are these just look like wood chests?
Yeah, wood. Not necessarily heavily bound. It's kind of hard to tell from the covering of gunk on it, but yeah, pretty much wood. They're not like heavy iron bound.
Could be hiding a stair under.
Nailed or small brackets on the edge.
It could.
What?
It could be just covering a passageway or something. I don't
They're
know,
not
but
quite as big as they appear on the map. That's just
Yeah.
poking the
it's
middle
hard
one
to
now.
make the whole map in Photoshop
yeah.
and then scale it to the right size because things then you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I can't scale the individual things on the map. All right, what were you gonna do? I'm sorry. Zoom, I
I'm
didn't mean to cut you off.
poking at the one in the middle now.
Okay. It kind of same thing, and it kind of shifts a little bit on the stonework.
Okay, and I poke at the last one.
Same thing.
I don't know what the hell's going on. These aren't no more chests.
Do they have
Want me to shoot at them?
I don't think they're alive. I just don't know if they're traps.
Well, can I check the first chest to see if it's trapped?
Sure. Make an investigation.
Huzzah! Can.
Describe to me what you're doing or what you're looking
I'm
for.
checking if. Well, I guess my guess is it opens up and has latches, or does it have
yeah.
something that looks like a
lid, an arch hood, standard chest, like an arch lid that would lift up. That's what it looks
so
like.
I sort of kneel and I want to sort of check it's basically the seam where you lift to see if there's, like sort of by where the locks are or wherever the
Okay.
and I'm basically looking there to see
I
if
need
there's
you to
any
make
sort of, like,
a
triggering.
dexterity saving throw.
I knew it.
Because as you step up, you hear the grinding of stone above you, and just instinctively
26.
try to leap to the side. And you instinctively dodge out of the way as a 1 foot thick section of the ceiling, like a false ceiling that's set up, so like a almost a foot thick of stone in like a block in front of the chest, like a big 5 foot area in front of the chest. A little more than 5 foot actually, slams down. You still get caught for some damage.
Alright.
You
Five?
take 5 points, yeah. Just kind of twist your ankle as some of the heavy blocks hit your feet as you dive out of the way, and they're sort of cracked stone. The chest is smashed to bits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing appeared to have been in the chest, from what you can tell. There was no gold splattered out, or
Why in the hell would that be? I'm gonna have a talk with Cliven. I have a feeling he just wanted to kill us.
These other two?
Yeah, I kind of look at where he stepped and then look at where the equivalent would be, and I push at the floor with the end of the gar.
Okay. All right. Rattling it down nice and heavy, you trigger another pressure plate. Section of ceiling falls out there as well, shattering the chest. And landing in the area in front of it, but you're not standing in the area. Safely trigger it.
Okay, do the same thing over in the middle.
Okay. Same thing. You trigger another section of blocks. So that was like a section of the ceiling sort of missing all the way sort of across to the wall over there in a line.
And there's nothing in any of the chests?
You go up and
Yeah, I'm gonna go
that are smashed into the stone. I mean,
investigate
at
this.
first glance, it doesn't appear to be. They're just false.
Yep,
chests.
I'll go dig through this stone
There's
rubble
no point,
crap.
I mean, a lot of it's under. You pull some of the stone aside, lifting up the broken chunks, and it just looked like a flimsy sort of false chest that was there.
The hell is the reason for that?
You can make an investigation check, I guess, if you're looking for.
While he's doing that,
Yeah.
can I, is there space behind the chest?
A little bit, yeah.
Alright, can I sort of creep behind using my dagger, sort of like running it along the wall to see if there's,
Okay.
like, basically like
Go
like a secret door or something
Okay.
potentially
False
behind that
wall,
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
Make an investigation check as well.
Basically using my dagger to see if it finds like a notch or, like in the wall that maybe
So there's a hole in the ceiling above us?
something.
Sort of like a section of the ceiling that was sort of
13.
like, in there was false and was just, propped up with this and made to fall out. So there's stone above it, but now there's like a section removed. You kind of trail on the wall behind Zig as he's stepping through the shadow remains of the chest and not finding anything. Run your dagger on the wall and don't find anything. But then sort of studying the area, you do notice, so the section sort of, here, let's see. Well, basically the section adjacent to where the part fell out on the end, it sort of looks odd the way it matches up against it. And I think that wall might be a more likely candidate. It looks like where the ceiling fell out now, you can see that it's sort of like not contiguous, and that looks like a sort of a false wall there that now you can see with that section of the ceiling missing.
Alright. I'll check that then.
Well, there has to be something here, because there's no way you just set up 3 fake chests and a ceiling that drops on them without having some reason for it, so...
quickly searching the area again, like as you did on the far wall. You
for my
okay?
second one.
Uh,
You find nothing.
you find a section there underneath the ceiling that fell out, and you push on it, and you hear the grinding of stone on the wall, and it kind of swivels in place like Scooby-Doo wall style, where it like pushes open a few feet to like reveal a chamber beyond.
Let's get back to the mystery veil.
And you can see through the gap opened up in the swiveled wall, a small room beyond with another chest.
Could it be a death trap? Find out next. Can I check for traps?
You may.
Do you want me to poke it with the gar?
You could.
Yeah.
I'll still check first or whatever. I'm looking at the floor and the ceiling basically to see if it looks like there's just hey, you made it here. It's also shitty here. Get the phone.
You don't see anything. Studying for like you kind of saw what the pressure plate sections looked like out there, what the ceiling looked like, and studying it pretty carefully, you just don't see that inside there.
Okay. You want to stab at it from a distance, Zig?
I'm gonna walk up and put my mouth on it.
On what part of the chest?
On the lid, just like go.
This one isn't slime covered, so it's not quite as gross. It's just
But
sort
it's
of
got poop all over it.
It'll be slime covered by the time I'm done with it.
Those rats actually poop all
It's
over.
not a mimic. It does not reveal itself as a mimic. It appears to be, from your bird's eye view now, up close to it. There is a lock on it set into it. This one is more reinforced, sturdier chest with a lock set into the lid.
Eldak! Come use your little female fingers to twiddle this lock.
Make sure it's not trapped.
Yeah, I'll check for traps first.
All right, go for it. Investigation.
$15.
Sort of checking it carefully, you think you see something. You kind of call Mel in for a little more light, and you definitely saw what you suspect in the brighter light, a needle trap, similar to what you've encountered before, waiting to jam out on the finger of someone who tries to wedge the lock.
How does one disarm? I could do that, right? Can I do that?
You can try that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do I just do another Thieves' Tools?
I can hit it really hard with a hammer and see what it does.
16.
All right, you just slip your. You have a dagger, right? I think, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a dagger.
I was gonna say he could borrow mine if anything.
Yeah, you kind of.
I've got 2 daggers on me.
Sort of, use some of your food tools, and you just slip your dagger point out and slide the tip just into the lock, and just like break the needle off inside.
Just the tip.
And then you use your thieves' tools to open it, and you can hear the little spring of the trap, but where there's no needle there. And then the lock opens. Click.
Sweet.
As before you open the lid, though, something else catches your eye on the lid, and you sort of dust it off with your hand. And on the lid is an etched bit of markings and thieves' cant.
Oh.
And it's the Bloodhound Gangs. The roof is on fire.
What's it say?
We don't need no water. Let this motherfucker burn.
That's what it says. It's their
Burn, motherfucker. Burn.
Well, they don't need it.
So you lift
What's
the
in the
lid
box?
up. Inside is a sack. Inside, lifting it, you hear the sound of coins, and there's 100 gold and 100 silver pieces.
Cool.
Loose in a large sack. There's also set to the side 3, quartz size, earthen jars with like a stopper on there and then sealed up with wax.
Ooh.
Poison?
They're sealed.
Or is it alcohol?
3 quart size jars sealed with
They're
wax,
like
right?
earthenware, like ceramic jars with like a lid that's like stoppered on there and then like sealed with some sort of wax.
Put those in Zig's bag for later.
Why do they need to be in my bag?
I'll grab them.
What's wrong with your bag?
I'll hold them. I have the jars.
Okay.
And
My
then we'll
bag's
just-
my bag's for heads. Hey, check up for any false compartments.
Do we just split the gold and silver?
Yeah, we split the gold.
What, 25 up
Yep.
piece of each?
25.
Did,
I'm gonna
did,
check for any
Yeah, I need
Secret
that.
compartments.
I'm short on gold.
$15 for investigation again.
Okay.
Any
Yeah,
secret
you
compartments?
turn the chest over, just thoroughly search it. Doesn't appear to be anything else here. So a
Is
thorough
it
search.
just the stuff in it?
okay, well. I walk over and I flip the chest over just in case there's anything underneath it.
Okay. No. In fact, you guys lifted it up a little bit when you were searching for false bottoms and stuff. There's nothing underneath it.
Alright, well. I think we're done here. Yeah, we need to go blow open this door. Looking for any sort of pressure plates and stuff along here, though.
Okay.
Since I know it's been booby trapped.
Make a perception as you go along. Okay.
17.
Slowly and carefully make your way down there. There's no booby traps or hanging slime or anything. You come across at the end of this passageway. There is a rusted gate sort of blocking the tunnel here. It doesn't look like a lock per se, it's just like a sewer grate, but this one is rusted and fairly weak.
Don't need to tell me twice.
Are you using just
Just-
swinging the hammer at it?
Yeah.
Or just strength, or are you just using your
No, I'm gonna swing the hammer at it.
clang, clang? Some of the bars shatter in the middle where they're sort of corroded and then break, and after a bit you can sort of bend them out, and it's a little bit of a squeeze, but you get to where you know enough where you can squeeze through.
Okay.
Yeah, gonna explore that there, go through. Okay.
Yeah.
So following there, it goes down. The tunnel runs for quite a ways, and then sort of intersects with a vertical shaft. And then there's another sturdy gate on the other side that's a little bit harder, and after some clanging to try to get it open, you can't wedge it open, and you probably could given some better tools and a little more time, but you decide to try the vertical shaft. And there's a ladder that goes up, much like sort of the one you came down. It goes up into another runner line, like you were the very small one where you first came down. And is narrow and short ceiling, but then it continues up, and you climb up a bit more, and there's a grate that you can hear the sounds of hoof beats and the city, and you can see light, and you are basically coming up to some sort of grate to the surface.
Yeah, this is dead end. Just leads back to the surface. We should go back the other way and talk to Clive and gang.
Alright. I guess. We could always check those things. I didn't take a real good look, but I don't know if anything would be in them. And I mentioned these. Since I didn't take a look at them when we were resting.
Okay.
I don't know.
Back we go.
Okay. All right, you return back down to here and back through the bent bars and into the spillway room.
Yeah, and then look at these.
You're gonna get down in the water again. You have to get down. They're like below the. Those run below the water.
Well, they're like drains, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna inspect them from here. I don't see any reason to get down in the water.
Unfortunately, you can't really see into them from here because on your right is a wall, and then they're like below you.
Oh, okay, fine. Fine.
Sorry, I mean, it's just... So you hop back down into there. And
It's nothing. I haven't been
there.
in the water before, so whatever.
Yeah, you're all in for a penny, in for a pound. Not much in there. You sort of look around this one. You kind of crawl under there and look around this one, and then when you get to this one, you see something in the water pushed up against the culvert, sort of stuck across it. And reaching your arm in there and pulling it out, you fish out a desiccated, half-rotted body, blue cloak, sort of halfway, flat against the culvert, like blocking it a little bit and backing it up.
Oh, hey, I
Rushing
found him.
water pulls down, and yeah, as you pull up the limp body, a huge section, like of his side, is just straight missing.
So I got the tickets the other day and opened it up,
With
and they're
large
freaking
teeth
front row
marks.
tickets.
We might never know what killed him.
Which I thought was another category up. I'm like, well, what were the
I
higher
throw it up
categories?
onto the walkway here. And
Because
Okay.
there was a ticket selection higher than what I got
It's
yet.
pretty disgusting and rotted.
I don't know what those
But
are
with a
for.
brief search, you do
Those must have
locate
been
a
tenants.
key
Yeah, front row on
Okay,
the right.
well-
among his possessions.
I go check this one.
Guaranteed
Yeah,
it's
you
front
check
row.
that,
It's
there's
supposed to be
nothing.
front row
Okay,
on the
I
back.
get out and I come back to the body.
Front row tickets.
Throw it over my shoulder. Well, we might as well bring it back.
We could probably leave it here for now.
Whatever.
Like, put it by
We're bringing it back.
here or
There's
something.
only on the stage.
He's got his mindset. You know how Zig
His
is.
hands are full now. If you encounter any more combat, he has got a Hydra head in one hand and a rotting body over
No.
his shoulder.
God damn it.
I don't have a Hydra head in my hand. I ran a rope through the Hydra head's mouth and out its neck hole that I cut open. Like a stringer.
It's too big. Let's just say you left it sitting here for your way out.
It's like a
It's
stringer
like- I
of
said it's
fish.
like almost like several feet across and like 2 to 3 feet long.
Yeah, and
I know,
think
and
it's
if you'd let me explain what I did,
Yeah.
then you'd hear that I took care of it.
Tomorrow we'll leave it.
There's a rope going through its mouth, out its neck hole, and I have it strung across my shoulder like a bandolier. So it's like hanging on my back, basically.
It's a giant 80-pound backpack in
Yeah.
addition to your armor.
Exactly.
He can hold like a shit ton of.
I'm a mule, alright? I'm fine.
Okay.
He's not jumping
Fair
into
enough.
cisterns with 80 extra pounds. Oh wait.
I'm not losing my head.
I mean,
I do dump the body here.
Okay.
Sort of, well, I don't dump it there. I dump it in the corner over here so it doesn't, like, if a big wash of water comes down here, it doesn't, like, blow the body back into the water.
Okay. Okay.
Let's go try this key.
Go look at the. Yeah.
Trash that I saw under there, and my hand like got stuck.
Okay.
So it's like
The key opens up the locked portcullis, and you can, and you can unlock the gate in it and open it up. Rusty gate swings open.
oh, yeah.
Beyond is a large cistern room. The walkway on the right-hand side is sort of broken in a section there. And on the far side is a passageway that or a tunnel, another sewer tunnel that leads out.
I guess we go out. Does this cistern look deep?
Yes.
I totally.
It's murky and hard to tell, but yes, you get the impression that it is.
Okay. I move around the outside and walk over this way.
Okay.
Alright.
You're gonna exit out that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still
It
watching
follows.
behind us, just in case.
Yeah, it continues a ways, intersects with a number of other passageways and sewer lines. You eventually find another way up to the runner lines, and then up to where you can see the light and hear the sounds again. You get the impression you could probably spend a long time exploring all over down here, but this was the quickest route to get out this direction.
Alright. Turn around. It's worthless.
All right. Going back
Okay.
over the dead body.
Go back through. I lock the gate after we're through.
Okay. Lock the
I
gate
grab
back
the
up.
body.
Okay. You pull it, and it's with a sickly rip, the arm rips free as you try to drag it.
Oh, I grab the arm. I'm like, oh, we don't want to leave this behind.
You right.
Are you giving them back the key?
Probably. I don't want to hang out in the sewers, do you?
No, not particularly.
That was the best. No, not really.
No.
Not so much.
It was great.
All right. So you
I appreciate the
return.
I did too.
You return back down the slime tunnel and then up through the narrow passageway and then up the tunnel into the side and out into the subterranean section where the Breakwater gang have a hideout. And Linton, the man who sent you down there, is sort of lounging on a wall nearby. You come back out.
Of course we did.
Any sign of the? Oh my God!
I hold out the
Oh, what's that smell?
rotten dead arm and go to shake his hand with it.
You know what would have been hilarious?
God.
Big.
Give me a hand, and then you put the hand out, and then he grabs that, and then you let go.
You know what would have been even more funny? If you were pushing the Hydra's head up first, so what was coming out was just the head, the Hydra's head.
It's like, oh my God, what's that?
Take it to the
Holy
side.
shit!
Head on
What
his
is that?
back.
He's sort of now he's sort of walking around you to look at this huge head that's strapped on your back. Is that a dragon?
No.
The
I don't know.
dragon
Do I know what a Hydra is? I probably might from my sales, but
Yeah, we say yes.
I
You've
didn't
never
know.
seen one before, and now you certainly
There's
do.
probably
Yeah, I feel like a lot of stuff was more like
old wives' tales. Word
yeah,
of
Okay,
mouth.
you
yeah.
hear people say, and you're like, yeah, all right, buddy.
like, no, that's not a dragon, you idiot. It's a Hydra.
I feel like people wouldn't believe us when
Good God.
we
Oh,
said
that's-
we fought a Hydra.
Jonesy, and he sees you dragging the body out, as emerging from the tunnel with it.
Yeah, we aren't sure how he died. I think he just drowned.
Leave that him. Ugh, come on. And then leads you.
Here, he wanted you to have this, and I handed him the arm.
Oh God. He kind of tosses it onto the pile where the body is. Oh, it's gonna smell this whole place up. We're gonna have to
Bake some
deserve
more,
a burial, I suppose. Thank you for bringing him back.
pies.
Leads you back to the.
Here,
to
I've
the
got some
building,
stuff for the crust, and I reach under the shoulder plate and scrape out a bunch of crap and throw it on the ground.
Splat.
I need a bath after this.
Ditto.
The rest of some of the other crew members are sitting in the house still, and Cliven is there. Well, I don't even have to ask. I could see you took care of whatever the hell that is.
This is my buddy, and I like grab the head and like swivel it up onto my shoulder, and I like articulate the mouth. I'm like, "Hello."
So
This is
charming.
what Zig does to his,
So it's clear down there then.
friends.
We can try to locate the gateway.
Oh yeah, here, and I throw the key at him. Like, you want to go run around in the sewer? Go ahead. There's a
They
dead.
kind of all nod and smile like, yeah, all right.
There's a dead body in a blue cloak down there as well.
Yeah, they drug Jonesy's body out of there. Well,
there's also a room with 3 fake chests that got destroyed and 1 real chest that we took everything out of.
Okay. We don't have any
It was the
stash down there.
stilettos.
No, not at all. Oh.
It was their stuff.
So they've been down there.
Yep.
Somehow they have access to that area.
There was it looks like we found a way through a portcullis.
Yeah, that's. And he kind of shakes the key in his hand. Well, that's. All right, then. We should be able to get through there now. Wonder if they can get through there too. This could be how they're getting over into this area
Down there?
without being detected sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, if nothing else, we can use this to help
left, right?
Yeah.
control this whole district.
That building does not have
Thank
a
you.
roof on it.
No.
You're welcome.
Sort of give him a nod.
Well, now that we can have access to all the tunnels down there, we could certainly slip in and out up to the edge of probably beyond where your inn will stand. So you have our word. We'll keep an eye on the place.
I lean over to Eben and whisper, "We aren't really gonna let Zig take that head out into the street, are we?"
Yes,
How
you
How
are.
are you gonna stop him?
I gotta go find a taxidermist.
It's true.
Do you not remember when he jumped back into the ocean to get the crocodile head that was on the front of the canoe? Like,
Oh man, that's right. You have a whole collection of skulls and things.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, honestly.
that's what I'm saying. We just put a bunch of skulls all around the like
bar?
trophies around the
Yeah,
tavern.
that's actually a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, that's the bar is going to be.
Like a museum, and that's what's gonna get all of our customers.
Yes, it's gonna have
We're gonna
all
be the
kinds of
most
stuff
expensive
there.
Place.
We are the
Profit.
Skullbound Tavern.
Profit.
Listen.
All I can think of is profit.
So I ask,
That's for kids.
I'm like, Cliven, so this place has all kind. Where's the nearest taxidermist?
Is there such a thing as tax?
I don't know.
There
I
might
need-
be.
Maybe I say preservist. I don't know. Somebody who can turn this into a trophy. And I point at the head. And I articulate the mouth again. Yeah, I want to go on a wall. I'm going on a wall at the bar. Ah.
They'd have
I
to
honestly
do that.
could not tell you. So that's quite impressive.
What? There's 4 more down at the bottom of the cistern, but I couldn't get them all.
There's 4 more of these down there?
No, 4 more heads. It's a single monster. It just had 5 heads. It's a hydra. Come on. You had a grandma, right? You've heard tales of hydras. Honestly, the hydra wasn't that big of a deal. It was the stupid slime that did more damage.
I don't know about that.
To Zig it did.
So giving him the key, they're very pleased with that. They kind of you guys converse for a bit longer, and I guess you have a pretty good rapport with these guys. You get a semi-trusting feeling. I mean, they are a band of thieves, but
I do tell him, I say, now if we ever need access down there, you're going to give us access.
yeah, absolutely. I think we can definitely have an arrangement. We'd ask that you don't reveal this place, of course, but yes.
What's the secret password then? It's not, hey, any thieves in there? Because that worked.
How about
It
I'm
did
looking
work.
for some of Grandma's
She
pies?
knew to expect you though.
True.
Tell her that you need a moonberry pie.
That sounds delicious.
It does.
Okay. Moonberry pie, got it.
But I have a feeling she will remember you.
Who doesn't?
So you kind of, like I said, they're thieves. They specialize more in sort of actual heists and things like that than the mugging and robberies of the stilettos. And though you don't completely trust them, they're obviously a band of thieves. They don't seem to be trying to do it, and they seem genuinely appreciative of the help you gave them. If any advantage you give them, it certainly seems better than the stilettos in the area where your bar is. So this seems like a win-win. And you work out how you can contact them here should you need them. It's just sort of conversing with them and, becoming somewhat friendly with them or whatever before you leave. At one point, Trix arrives and you begin recounting to her the story of the Hydra, I'm sure, and articulating the head and so forth for her. I have a feeling you wouldn't be able to resist. And as you're engaged with that, Cliven sort of pulls Eldak aside, off to the side,
What's up?
for a more private word.
Oh.
And says, "No, we appreciate all the help from you, you and your group. If you need anything, training, supplies, access to materials, you can come see us later, and we can arrange whatever you need, probably."
I'll keep you to that. Thank you.
So, recognizing you are, a thief, as well. So, or not a thief, a rogue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First edition. Can't stop calling them thieves.
Dirty thief.
So, and then you exit. For brevity's sake, you're gonna find a. I don't even know. Is it such a thing as tax of this?
I would think there would be.
And I was gonna say maybe some sort of tanner or animal sort of handler type character. I don't know.
I am not going to follow Zig around with his big, nasty, smelly head. I am going straight back to the inn to take a long soaked bath to get rid of this nasty smell.
Yeah,
I need to find
as well.
I need to find
be
somebody to
clean.
preserve this somehow.
I have,
Needs to be turned into a trophy at somehow. Don't know who I need to talk to for that, but
Evan, where are you going?
I'm figuring that out right now.
Are you going with Zig or are you coming with us?
honestly, I think when I walk out of this place, the head will get the least amount of attention over the smell. Since I'm basically a walking sewer right now.
Yes, you are.
I'm going back to get cleaned.
Yep.
Put my nice clothes on. Again.
I'm gonna cast invisibility on Eldak and I as we leave, so that people just
They just smell
the scent,
shit.
They don't see us.
They don't see us, but they just smell shit. Literally.
It's like, oh, what was that?
So you, for the sake of brevity, you locate a place that specializes in tanning and trophy making of the sort, and it's called the Silver Standard, and it's run by a fairly aged half elf. He's got long, straight golden hair, blue eyes, kind of pink sunburned skin. It's actually, for a half elf, he's kind of surprisingly ugly. A little bit of a sort of sharp features. Well, I mean, elves are generally thought of as
gorgeous,
as appealing. Yeah, he kind of he smells of a little bit of strange spices, not like for food, but some sort of spice or chemical that he's using in the process. And there are different, buck heads mounted and some examples of trophies of other animals. You're not the first, noble or whoever to want to mount something for their wall. So he's like, what have I? Holy shit! Yeah, it doesn't even need to ask what you're there for. As you plump a bloody, freshly killed Hydra head on a large work table there. So what do you? He kind of studies it for a moment. So what are you thinking? Are you thinking skull and bleached, or do you want more lifelike?
As lifelike as possible. Let's make this a
brooding. He kind of looks at you, sort of imagine. You thinking brooding, fearsome face, or action, maw open? Kind of liking maw open. Yeah. What do you think? What are you imagining here?
make it look like it's gonna bite your face off.
Yeah. Well, bringing it in so fresh is certainly makes this work a lot easier. For something like this, it'll be about 200 gold pieces. I have access to magisters who will help, and it will look exquisitely real.
Okay, that'll work.
All right. So that'll be ready in, take like a week or something for it to be ready. I'm
gonna give him 10 platinum pieces and 100 gold pieces just to keep my stock variety.
You tell him where you're gonna have it delivered. I assume to the inn on the corner there. And you'll have a trophy ready.
Soon to be renamed inn.
Possibly inn to be named later.
DM, how many bathtubs did we have the crew buy?
Hydra.
How many bathtubs do you have?
Yeah, I'm like, you didn't check the rooms? There's no bathtubs.
People specifically said you want to outfit like the inn part, the bedrooms, the beds. I would assume that would be sort of part of that.
Yep.
When you arrive back at the inn, haven't been gone most of the day. It's kind of getting on toward evening.
Me and my two invisible friends walking down the street.
Wait, she made you invisible?
She made herself and Eldeck invisible.
Just so you don't have to be seen with Zig. I'm sorry, I missed that. I was looking for this guy. Oh God. Okay. But it's sort of a little bit of a hubbub of activity going on. Ramona's there, Sharkbait's there, Pleasant's there.
Sweet. When we're inside, I drop the invisibility, and I'm like, Ramona, right now.
Scurvy's gone back to the boat, but Two Fingers is there as well, interested to check out the place. They've been at work. They've gotten most things stockpiled, things set up. It looks like your large table has arrived. Probably wasn't really supposed to be ready for a while, but we'll just get to it. You have like a long, elaborate table for the main area now. It's carved out of this beautiful dark wood, richly polished and like lacquered on top to kind of protect it, from spills or whatever. and it's very thick wood. There's a set of long benches that go with it. At either end of the long table, it's got like huge brass covered like things that look like feet. They're not clawed, but they're sort of, you know what I mean, like big knob feet, and
Like
it's
knuckles.
really good workmanship. So this is what they brought, and you still owe them some money for the rest of that.
Yeah, it was
I think it's
half on
half.
delivery. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was how much more? I should start writing these things better.
I'm sure I have this
Um,
down somewhere. Hold on.
I think it was you paid 100. Was it 200 gold, or was it 300 gold?
I was thinking two. Yeah.
Either 2 or 250.
Yeah, I think it was 2. So
Because
they
he paid
paid 100 gold
250.
out of the.
Did you pay 50 or 100? Was it like 215? You paid 15. You owed 2.
I'm
Or
pretty.
Was it 200?
They paid half.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we
Okay.
each paid like 30 gold, or a little bit more.
So the crew that were there paid them with the rest of or some of the money that they had from the sale of the stuff. They've also purchased to hang above it like a large. It's not a chandelier, but like more medieval style, like with more iron and woodworked thing that hangs, and then like candles and lights can hang above it to hang in the center of the room. There's of course the tables and benches that they already brought, so you guys are well on your way to getting stocked. You guys get sort of cleaned up, I guess. You send somebody out to buy tubs.
Ramona out to buy a tub.
Pleasant's like, I'm on it. And they
laugh.
go off and they'll buy some large barrels cut in half.
But everybody's gonna want to have those tubs back by the time I get to the bar, because as soon as I walk in, they're gonna smell it.
So you get some huge barrels that are like cut in half to act as like tubs.
Oh, thank God.
And kind of get that set up. And somebody starts actually heating some water for one, knowing everyone's sort of mentioning that Zig will need one immediately. So
More concerned about washing my armor off.
Yeah. So when you return, you guys get cleaned up, and then you were at the inn. I don't know if you had something in particular you wanted to do. Otherwise, I'll just go forward, I guess.
How long of a time was that?
I don't know. It's
Probably
like
2 hours.
evening time when you're all done with, you spend the day doing this.
Okay. Somewhere before the end of the week, whenever we get there, our next step along the way is the wedding. I want to hunt Ken down at night at the Blue again.
You want to
That's
hunt?
the trash
Sorry.
can.
Yeah. Kent.
Okay.
I want to
Okay.
hunt Kent down again.
Okay.
And
Okay.
looking to get more information on the
Okay. In the evening, as you guys are getting food and so forth, before you do that, there's a large rap at the door.
I checked to see who it is.
Pleasant, go answer the door.
It is Harrison Blacksteed with several of his, servant entourage.
Are they the same guys we've seen before, or new people?
Yeah, a couple just like manservant people that are sort of, inconsequential little dudes around him.
Alright, I open it and Harrison.
Good evening. Oh, it's starting to look more cozy in here. I thought I would bring you a gift. In good faith as well, because you'll be going soon, and I appreciate this. Kind of like,
If it's a freshly
And they
fucked
back-
bear, we don't want it.
oh, no such luck for you. You'll have to settle for ale.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
And
Bring it
they
in.
have a cart behind them, and they roll in like 5 large kegs of ale.
I turned to Zig, don't drink them all tonight.
Uh,
This
Oh.
he
feels
kind of steps in as the
fishy.
people are rolling it in. I figured you'd need a little something to get your place off the ground. This is dirty elephant ale. It's pretty good stuff. You'll certainly, not the swill you'll find in the dock quarters. If you need people, if you like it, you can let me know. Or if you need contacts in, some of the breweries, we can help you out. But for now, something to get you started. And they sort of wheel in the kegs and stand them up behind the bar, so you have a little something to get started on. Oh, and he sort of really like the look of the place. It's good as they're stacking the barrels back there, and kind of sees your map out on the table, and something else as well. Since I'm sure you'll be heading out to the catacombs soon, as you said. If you go up here, and he points to a spot on the map. I know a great place. Set you up with horses for the ride. All arranged for you. Tell them that I sent you, and they'll know that you'll be arriving. And as long as you return with the horses, and it'll be on me. Lose the horses, they'll probably charge you for them. But make your journey quicker.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
He hangs around for a little while longer if there's anything you or do. Otherwise, once his people are done stacking the kegs back there,
What's the name of the person that this lady's marrying?
He doesn't know. It's not the right person to ask.
We don't know what.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know that he said. I think he kind of refused to say.
He said who
He
it
did
was.
say-
We didn't get a name, if I remember correctly.
I
What do you
wanna say
mean he
Metro,
said-
But I know that's obviously not it.
He said he was like some.
He said he was a nobleman.
Yeah.
That's all.
I don't remember if he said like.
Okay, so I just say,
Blah 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 blah.
hey Harrison, you know of any noble weddings going on in the next 2 weeks?
There's always some aristocrat or another getting married or something. I can't think of anything too noteworthy. I don't keep up on all of that. I believe I heard something about a wedding. There's to be a small affair at the Rose Gardens or something. Rose Grounds. Some sort of
Rhodey
Some sort of
Marbrand.
fight.
We did get a name.
That's
Marlboro.
it.
See? Marlboro. What was
Marbrand. Rhodey Marbrand. That's what I wrote.
Marlboro Man.
My brand.
My brand!
Look with your special eyes. My brand.
My brand!
I'm never not gonna. Oh god damn it. That's it. That's it forever. Rhodey, my brand.
You're welcome. So yeah, do we mention that then? Do we just go specifically to that person, or?
I will. Like, what do you know about the My Brands?
Yeah, that's the name. That's the one. Yes, I did hear something about it. He's getting married, I think, in a few weeks or something. I can't recall. Something.
You know
I only
the name
heard
of
because
his
they're gonna
wife or soon-to-be wife.
I'm trying to think. I've met him once or twice. He's sorry, checking my notes. Pardon me.
No stress, all cool.
He owns a number of residential properties. He's sort of a member of the Valen Court, but he's attached tangentially at best. He holds quite a bit of property on the west side, neighborhoods, apartment buildings. They're pathetic, frankly. They're low rent, terrible.
Slums.
Definitely slums.
Land
But he
baron.
collects rent. He collects a fair, high rent from the people that live there, and owning property essentially makes you effectively a noble in this city. He's marrying someone. Can't recall the name. From some family in Simrek. I can't recall the name. A minor house somewhere out there. I don't really pay attention to a lot of politics, and frankly, if it's inside the city, it's interesting to me because of business. Nobles of foreign cities are of very little interest to me.
We heard he was also going to have, I believe, a fighting show of some sort during his wedding.
Yes, that's why I recall. He's
I heard a mention of an older gentleman. Do you happen to know who that is?
No, I have not heard. I heard there was going to be. See,
Some
this Rhodey fancies himself as a wishes, really wannabe adventurer. If you ask me, we met at a party one time, and
some hero
he
of
was
some
asking me,
gate.
regaling us stories of the things our adventuring band had done, but I quickly became disinterested. He was sort of a hanger-on. But yes, a lot of the nobles love these tournaments and fights. I haven't heard who's going to be fighting.
Some hero of something gate or other. I don't remember.
I have not heard the Battle of Gate something or other.
I'm terrible with names. I don't remember. It was mentioned last time. So the guy is the hero of blah blah blah.
I didn't write that down.
It's a little fuzzy. You were kind of wasted, to be frank. So,
Yeah. The fact that you got hero out of that.
does anybody else remember?
I don't have it.
I didn't write it down. I don't remember.
It's all right.
Wasn't
I
real
could
relevant,
probably
that's
ask
it.
around and find out.
No, that's not important.
Okay. All right. Well, they finished setting up the kegs over there, and
Doesn't matter who they trot out.
good luck to you. And they'll expect you if you want to get outfitted for the journey. You could be there in less than a day on good horseback. Just follow the directions I gave you and be safe.
We'll do.
Then he's, stop hanging around me. Let's go. Come on, get the cart ready. Hovering about. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. Well as dream. Trying to think of I don't know. I need to come up with something like a colloquial
Good day.
God sort of thing you say. But what is,
Good
I don't
day.
know what I know what you're talking about. I don't know where that started. But.
It's just because Grog's an idiot. That's it.
Is that something he says? Okay.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
sort of like Stanima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good day.
Because it was, I think, originally Be Pleased or some shit like that. And
It
then
was
it was like,
beep
okay.
beep. No, it was be pleased, and then he says beep beep, and then
Was it written in a sigil?
oh,
Yeah.
it was not. And then
A brazier, a sigil
And then
brazier.
people were just saying-
That's mine. Yeah.
and then people were just saying good day, and then he says good
Good
day. 'cause
day.
he's just-
Maybe that should be the name of the bar, the brazier sigil.
That's when I commit seppuku.
Have you been to the Brazier?
I gotta get a drink. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe he could inform us on some shit we don't know about, but...
Well, if somebody sober that was present could remember the name of the whatever this guy's a
I didn't
hero
write
of.
that down. I wasn't there during the conversation.
Yes,
but
you
I was
were.
listening. No, I mean like I was passively listening to my cup. That's besides the point.
No.
No, you were there. That was in the alley. That was when I stumbled up in the alley.
You're right. Oh yeah, I didn't.
That was when he stumbled back.
When we almost murdered him.
Because of Nelson.
They drank a potion of.
It is warm as hell up here. Why it's so warm? It's 57 degrees outside. Why is it 57 degrees outside and
I hate it.
November 5th?
How warm it is in here.
Probably the same reason there were tornadoes on November 5th.
Somewhere around 70. Well, the air conditioner's not on. So because it was hot in here yesterday.
I want to listen. I want to listen to that cool party song again. That was a good song. Where is that?
Let's go party.
No, that was not it. There we go.
Air conditioner now that you say that.
There it is. Oh, I see why this is in the Chrono Trigger one. It starts off with the... It's Frog's theme. No, this might be the main theme. Uh-oh, everything's gonna be messed up again.
Uh-oh.
I'm good. My shit was being stupid. We're good to go. You guys hear me, right?
Did anybody hear, oh, damn it, Hans.
Fuck you. You piece of shit. God damn it.
That's a little aggressive.
You got my message, right, Hans?
Maybe not.
Okay. It's not super important.
I wish that bot worked in here just for the random Giphy images.
Awesome. Yeah.
The best part about that bot.
Okay. So you're gonna do that before? Okay. So it's gonna be hard to do secret room with recording stuff. I just realized this.
Yeah.
People will just tune into the channel to get the secret knowledge.
Knowledge.
You could do it through just IM stuff, but it's more typing.
Yeah. Oh, it's not as funny.
It's not gonna require conversation. Not yet, at least.
What are we doing? What?
Yeah, we'll just do it here. So as you guys were getting ready, so I'm gonna back up because I wasn't reading my messages. As you returned back and everyone was getting the bath equipment ready and checking out the new stuff, when you returned back, and Melusine dropped her invisibility spell, and you were returning and getting everything ready, Eldak was not with you. He sort of disappeared on the way back. But you decide that he may have just done something on his own. I suppose you could assume something more nefarious if you wish, but because I already described
look at Mel and I'm like, see what happens when you put people invisible?
I know. They just go wander off. But I was
They don't wander off, but you can't be trusted with putting
like
the right people with invisibility. Visibility privileges taken away.
On your own, sort of
Fine, I
cut
get
off
first back.
toward the north end of the city, where you return sort of into the procession district and off one of the main streets near the gate. Approach this building. It's just evening, and but the streets, especially the streets up there, are still quite a few people out. And there's a building with a large, several-story but big wooden front and like open storefront doors still open for business. There is some people going in and out, some activity there. There is a side area that's got a large wooden gate that's this time half open. You can see stables and horses back there, sort of in there, and like somebody's leading out, or actually leading back into there from the street, like a riding horse back into that area. And this is the outfitters that you previously passed and took notice of when you were coming back this way.
Okay.
I think it's interesting. He's just walking along, all of a sudden, invisibility drops.
You probably expected it. It's gonna happen at some point. Yeah, you're visible at this point. At some point that was dropped.
That's fine.
Did you want to go check out inside, or?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right, and then you return a little later back to the group, or?
Yep.
Okay.
Did you get your bath while you were out? Or did you
Oh yeah, fuck that. I'm getting clean somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting for
when you get back, they've got baths.
Okay, so I'm doing that and soaking for like an hour.
I get first dibs on it though. So I get all the. I actually started with the cold shower, and I'm like, okay, bring me more water later. Yeah.
When he comes back in, though, I sort of come by. Everything all right?
Yeah, we're good. Everything's good.
Ever since we got here, it doesn't seem to be good.
It's just weird
I know
being
you've
back
been
here.
here before. But
Yeah. No, things are
obviously,
fine.
there's things going on beyond
It's just
that.
weird being back in.
And the stilettos.
Not worried about them right now.
All right.
I just wanted to walk through an area that I haven't been to in a bit. That's it.
Sort of just give him a nod. Leave him be. Reading my child workbook. Zig is a potato. Zig is a potato.
Yeah. I pass him on the stairs as he's going up, going, we have bathtubs.
Yeah, it's
drying
sort
my
of
hair.
like that. It has simple words. You kind of practice the alphabet and the sort of rough type of sounds, and like strong guttural language sounds, and practice your alphabet, and then simple words at this point only.
Yeah.
See groom with axe, groom kill with axe. Just kid stuff for him.
God damn it.
Something over Tanagra. Gotcha. I'll go back to Star Trek again. Let's go.
Oh man, that's a good episode too.
It is. So yeah, so basically whenever I have some general food...
I have no idea what you dorks are talking about. Star Trek episode what?
Yeah.
There was there was a Star Trek episode where it was like this weird.
Picard and another commander are transported to a planet, and the whole time he's like speaking in
Allegory.
where he doesn't
Yeah.
understand.
Okay.
And he's basically trying to describe to him an event that happened in their past or whatever, and that's how he figures out how to talk to them.
Sounds like The Next Generation, which was just a boring snooze fest because nothing ever happened except Picard talking to other people.
We know what Zig likes.
What?
In and out.
What?
Never.
Dharma Congelad at Tanagra.
There we go.
Exactly.
Shaka when the walls fell.
See, I've seen that phrase put places before. I don't know. Next Generation sucks.
His arms wide.
Give me,
Evan and I were doing it one day in the game.
maybe that was it. I don't know.
A long time ago, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Actually,
but now that I'm looking at the orc,
put this on it.
Give me Kirk.
Yeah.
Take Kirk over Mr. Talk forever, any day of the week. An alien, shoot it, or fuck it, one of the two. It's my kind of captain right there.
But not in
Set
that order.
set phasers to tase so I can put my dick in it. Whoa.
What?
So,
it seems
I
aggressive.
think that's an actual Star Trek episode.
What did I consciously come back to?
That's every Star Trek episode with Captain Kirk.
Every Kirk episode.
We're gonna shoot it, and then I'm gonna have sex with it. Or one or the other, at least.
Usually not in that order.
That's why Kirk is awesome. Doesn't matter. Next Generation sucks.
And roll for
Somebody's
initiative.
dead.
And roll for it.
Anyway,
Almost as good as Deep Space Nine, which was made by Whoopi Goldberg's character.
I've never actually seen Voyager or Deep Space Nine. We need
They
to
suck.
go through.
They're terrible.
Okay.
Suddenly
Well,
a portal opens
Most
up
Star
and
Trek
and a
people that
man
I
with
know,
a
they'll
phaser
tell me
comes
how
out
great
and
they
shoots
are.
Zig.
So
I didn't really like Voyager, but I did like Deep.
most people I know will say they're really good because, well, like most people I know they're like really Star Trek, they're a little bit younger than me, and that's like more theirs. For me, Next Generation was like when I was like. a
All I
teenager.
know is, and I don't know if it was Deep Space Nine or Voyager. I'm not sure which one it was. Had some guy with giant ears that was always getting in trouble, and
Ferengi, that was Deep Space Nine.
And
They're
he
actually
always-
Next Generation, but
and he always talked to Whoopi Goldberg, who was like a bartender, and it was boring as shit.
Well, now that was probably. I wonder if she was.
It was a space soap opera, and
I
that's.
don't ever remember her being on Deep Space Nine.
what?
Whoopi
We
was
just
on-
watched the entire thing. What are you talking
No,
about?
that's Next Gen. She was
Oh,
on
Deep
Next
Space
Gen.
Nine.
Deep
Oh.
Space Nine, they're on the space station, and Voyager, they're. But I never watched.
I don't know, but there was a crossover. Like a lot of those people were in both of those.
Yeah.
The one girl who's like the skinny sort of brunette, she was, I don't remember, her people were all the refugees that they had to save in the one. I don't remember what
Mhm.
her race was. But she was like another character in one of those shows too, I thought.
I
I
mean,
think it was her, but it was somebody of her race.
the Next Generation. The next.
Flipped.
The Next Generation took a Klingon, which was supposed to be this violent sociopathic race, and turned him into like this pacifist bullshit moron. Worf. It's like, oh yeah, we took the one good thing about this race and made him boring as shit. Now he just hangs out on the bridge and does whatever Picard tells him to do.
That's what I imagine Worf saying. Because he's always like struggling with that in the show. Okay, let's not talk about Star Trek: The Next Generation. Unless we're done.
I'd actually not mind ending it here, so I got a bunch of shit to do tomorrow, so I'd rather.
Okay. I will. All right, we'll pick up from here next week. Is a good stopping point.
All right. Remind me, I want to go
pick
talk
up,
to
and we
Crazy
can.
Man.
A few things left to do in the city, so.
Gotta call an insurance company tomorrow and go to a ballet and go to work and. Ava's in the Nutcracker with the Moscow Russian ballet company or whatever tomorrow, so that ought to be pretty cool. But
XP, we haven't got that in forever. XP,
Jeez.
that's exciting.
Famed him.
He's already turned off the stream. He's like, fuck XP.
Yeah, I know he
It's
is.
done.
No, we'll do that. I'm doing that right now, actually.
I've got Snorlax taint staring at me over on my left screen. Look at the underside of my balls.
Deepest Button had a grand time.
Yeah, I had a viewer. My son. Like, I want to watch you on your Twitch account.
You had 4 viewers.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well,
We were all watching it.
I've got it up and running.
I have
So
it up.
if we do multi-Twitch, does it actually act like we're in both?
Yep.
Yep.
Right. That's the way we gotta do it.
Yep.
I screwed up big time. I didn't... That whole time we're in the sewers, I don't think I put the sewer map up on my second window. I gotta pay more attention to what I'm doing for, like, the stream.
Oh, so the stream didn't have the right map up?
I didn't... I have my screen that doesn't have a map. Hey, it's fine. It's just... It didn't have the map.
It had our rolls.
Oh yeah, it had the rolling thing, yeah.
Oopsie.
See, that's why I made it just one screen on mine. I don't...
Yeah, I'd like to have it with a little more transition. I was actually thinking about maybe making another one, so it'd be like when you have like a one-on-one conversation or somebody's like doing something, you can kind of highlight them, and, like have their character sheet or whatever, so you can see like their stats or whatever. So like, you know, when Zig's talking to the barrister and taking the lead or whatever, you could be like, Zig, level 7 fighter, you know, battle master, blah blah blah. Just people like look at the stats or whatever. All right.
It is 75 in here, but it's hot.
It's super hot. You each get 1,425 experience. 1425.
31,218.
Not bad for a quick side adventure. We fight a couple of monsters.
David, want me to change yours? Or you got it?
I did it. I got it.
29,991.
I'm biased.
I'm like, what, 25 points more than you now?
You said 91?
Yeah.
23 points ahead of me.
Zig goes
You need
back
it.
to the underground and kills
You
those
need
rats.
a punt. You need to punt like 8 like bar dudes.
Wow, there was a flying V worth of rats he needed to kill.
Yeah. I let it go. If I would have killed him, it would have split the XP though, and I wouldn't have gotten any farther, so...
No, I was saying, you after you leave the guy who's gonna set up the Hydra head, you go back into the tunnels and kill those rats. You rats! I don't think I forgot about you.
I gotta go get another net. I'm down to 1 net.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
I need to go find a place to buy a longbow. We're in town, I could do that. I am a jack of all trades.
All right. So, what do you guys think you're gonna do next week? Or don't know? Doesn't
The
really matter.
wedding?
Yeah, the wedding is still like 6 days away, but I want to
The
talk
thing-
to Kent.
Yeah, for me, my worry is I don't know if going to the catacombs is really just going to be a day-long adventure.
I don't think
you know
it's
what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Which is why I'm thinking,
But we don't have to role play 7 days. I mean,
No.
yeah.
Oh, come on.
where do you want to shop today?
Can we
There's a
though?
breakfast place around the corner. Do you want to check that out this morning? All right.
We could have another
They
like
got-
3
yeah, another
sessions.
NPC.
We could have another 3 sessions of visiting libraries and buying.
Oh, I do have to go back
We-
to the library.
I was wondering.
Yeah,
if you
she's got to pick up her stuff.
I was wondering if you'd remember that. Well, I figured you probably eventually would.
Yeah, so for me anyway.
Oh wait, you can
because
see when I do
maybe
stuff like that,
I'm
can't
gonna,
you?
like, actually go out into the city just to have an actual eye view of the area, and then I'm gonna be reading or whatever. And then if anything else happens along the way,
Cool.
Yeah.
figure.
A week should be enough time to get the rest of the bar outfitted and things too.
Yeah.
So. Cool. All right. Well.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't have to go to work tomorrow. Wish I could play D&D for a living. I don't know how these people do it. Should have followed that dream. I don't well, I'm just saying, like, some people just made a good decision at some point in their life to do something they really loved and like somehow made that into like their job. And I don't necessarily mean like necessarily just playing D&D for a living, but like, what if I was like, working at Wizards of the Coast or something, People made better choices than me about, like, I guess combining their work with their hobbies. People seem to do that